without her. Or her. Or her. Or mind-blowing battles. Chess champion showdowns. Extreme birding. The love.
Love now.
Lulls. Hot takes.
Go ahead, tell me I can again.
Fearlessness. The community you built. The non-stop inspiration.
I want to change the world.
It's not Twitch without you.
Perfect. You're live on Twitch. I said you're live on Twitch. Yeah.
The game one curse is over for G2 as they take game number 2. We go into game number 3 on World's Edge. The last game on World's Edge before we go on over to Stormpoint. Vicky and T-Squared bringing you the action out here. And wow, this one's getting started fast. Vicky, we haven't got on time.
I mean, okay, I guess we can't break down what we saw right there. We can just talk a little bit about it while we take a look at the winners who just came out of game number 2. G2, 15 kills. Tom, what is in G2's breakfast? Because every single time we see G2, they are popping off. They have been the most consistent than we have ever seen them in this second split.
They're definitely just dropping headshot on headshot. Has to be Wheaties. I'm not quite sure exactly what it was, though. I want some of it, whatever that is G2 now going for their loot. And you know what? The rich get richer here. It's streamer loot now at this point, and you love to see it coming from that thermal station side. I'm excited to see what kind of zone we're going to get to, because sometimes, I mean, if you're getting blessed this much with double purples and a blue, maybe you should just get the zone, too.
I mean, come on, out here, the game is even giving you everything that you want, but it's not going to give them the circle that they would have liked here to situate themselves maybe on that high ground sniper tower building every single time we sometimes see that circle pull over there, but now this time around, we're getting that circle pulling all the way away from them. We still have these 50-50s going on. It's scary now. And they get the crack here. Ganjamin is going to have to back off. They are running that caustic, so at least creating some of that space between them and that other team.
I like the plays coming out from everybody on the scary team. You're going to be blocking the doors with the barrels so they can heal. Backing off for Ganjamin so we can get those syringes in, but got to watch the left-hand side. We can see the player outlines. They're going to full send it. The bubble's going to showcase which way they're coming from, and have they been able to spot any players out? You can see one player is going to be pretty far back, and that's a decent amount of damage. The counter bubble is going to come through, but Serial just get rips apart.
Oh, off to the side, too. They used up the dome first now, and they're forced to back off. It's CLX that are down a member. Scary finally have the opportunity to claim this team, win the 50-50. Another time around, the bow check. Can he land their shots? He gets the 60. He gets the second shot. The Tacula going down. He gets it again. I mean, okay. All right. Doing Orlando Bloom things. I mean, I love it. Here's Scary. They're going to be able to come out on top and get those 3 KPs on top
Just
of
to
them.
have his name in it.
I just picture, you know, Orlando Bloom's hair on Caustic just flowing in the wind as those shots are going down as we take a look at the zone on that northern side. I'm looking at that respawn beacon playing on the opposite side of the train tracks. That looks lit.
Gotta love Legolas. You gotta have that bow and arrow, just landing those shots and looking at where the circle's pulling all the way to the north. Getting some diversity here. I haven't seen this circle in a little bit. We've seen a lot of climatizer circles. We heard Rain Day. We heard James Bardoff talking about how many times we've seen those overlook circles too. But with the circle pulling all the way north, you can imagine the contention from a lot of these southern teams are going to be met in that choke point, leaving that lava siphon area. You can expect it getting really heated, leaving a landslide as well. But so many of these teams wasting no time to get into these buildings on their own. We talk about the compositions. W still running the Loba here too. So they're going to be able to sit happily inside of these buildings, but because they don't have the Caustic, there's nothing blocking these doors to prevent any of these other teams from pushing in on them.
You know, losing the 50-50, Vicky, it hurts, but it hurts even more when it's the bow check. It hurts the worst when it's you getting punched out, but
Looks
I
like
think the
they're
bow
all
check could
fighting
be second to
already
none.
over here.
Oh man,
Like the setup
I
coming
love
in
it.
from W. This is what they do. This is what they do. They get here so fast from that landslide area. Everyone anticipating survey here, though, and it kind of reminds me of how many survey zones we saw in the previous metas when there was Watson, Pathfinder, Wraith. This is when all of the Watson fences, you would just hear bzzz everywhere the entire time because of those fences in the area. But now we're in the Caustic meta, right? And W, that's what you love about them. They get into these spots and they do it without a Caustic. They're constantly peppering the teams. They're picking up crates all the time. Getting all of the crated weapons throughout a majority of the time. They're getting the Spitfires, the Volts, the Krabers. Now we take a look at what Promos and Farmer Lucas is doing. We're talking about that respawn beacon. Definitely a viable position to go and hold, especially for the Caustic teams.
Yeah, we know a legend could take care of both those Watson fences and those Caustic traps. The crypto that we don't usually see here in the NA region. That EMP is not going to be pesky, though, for some of these teams since they aren't going to have to worry about that. Nightmare, Challenger Circuit squad. We saw Bad Boys over by the other side by that respawn beacon that you were talking about. They're making their way through the train tracks now. And approaching from the northern side of Survey is definitely going to be a strong move for the team
What's
that gets to win
going
the fight on
on?
the train tracks. With Bad
Where the
Boys
fuck's
and their
everybody at,
positioning already
man?
north of those train tracks, they're going to be able to sit
my
away
dudes
from
at?
a lot of the pinching squads in the middle of the rotations. Because look at this. Look where Oxygen is positioned right now. They're quite literally in a tough place.
Probably
Just
watching
being
the
able to funnel themselves
LCS.
inside of this truck. Yeah, they have the Caustic on their team
Probably.
too, so they can try to negate some of the pressure. But with this Nox guys, they have to hang out by
Oxygen,
the
man.
corners
Let's
of the
see
truck.
this, yo. What the
They're trying
fuck?
to risk it for the biscuit, but this is a
That
burnt
boy
biscuit.
protect-
It's
risk
not
it
looking
for the
good for
biscuit.
OXG. You can see the nades are going in. Everybody's
Risking it
starting
for
to
the
push
biscuit,
now on
chat.
the
Let's
XZ side.
go.
This is a risky
Our
third party
team got
beacon. They may
knocked
get
out,
set on,
NRG.
and McLean realizes that this
They
is
got
not as
shat
clean as they
on.
were hoping for. There's way too many teams in the area. Just
Already?
let these teams focus them all together, and then we'll pick up and share our
Oh, I don't know
points
already. No,
overall. But
I
No,
somehow
earlier.
there's a way
That
to
was earlier this
OXG is
game.
alive throughout all
Get
that.
NRG
Yeah,
up
it should be
here. We
game
got
two.
Yeah, basically,
we
both
got
Pathfinder on the
G2,
other side
we got
says we are
NRG.
not going to let
Let's
XZ pick
put,
up any
let's see if we can
KP.
get
It doesn't
TSM
matter
up
how
here.
desperate you may need it here. Oxygen are
See.
just going to be able to survive, maybe restabilize, but their doors
you
did
guys
get
a
griefs. See the Sentinel shots being
Good
landed
view
though.
here.
Sleepy
So
Panda
this
was
is
that
the
last one.
ALGS
But
main.
RCO
That's what you guys are
Esports,
hearing
they're
right
just
now.
trying to
They're
take a position
talking.
to try to
And
get
then these guys,
Nightmare,
you can
who
actually
want
go
the
down
same-
here to G2 and switch out. Now we're watching G2.
Fuck it.
Watching
Oh, it's okay.
NRG now. TSM now.
Spread out. You fucking.
And then back to the
holding on shit.
ALGS.
Like, you guys are just literally holding hands like you're afraid.
Yep.
I'm dropping a massive.
I think when you switch it, all you have to do, I think you have to unmute them.
You want me to hold this bridge or you want me to put it on you?
No,
You can play there. It's fine.
just automatically does it.
Oh, it automatically unmutes when you send it to the big screen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool,
Play next to
cool.
hell, kind of.
I wasn't sure. I just seen the bottom ones were muted, that's all.
What the fuck, man? Why does it keep taking me? I don't want to go to that stupid fucking website. How's that you watching?
Yeah.
They say go to settings here.
Guy in no name. I just saw. Yeah, they're in no name right now.
Top Epi's open if you want to hit third beacon.
Dark roll from Frag West.
And you can see that they have the Sentinel on the opposite side, right? And if they are able to get armor checks from NRG, they may full send it over there because you know that they don't really have a strong secondary weapon if you get up close. That's how tough NRG plays these lobbies. They're completely confident taking these fights. Now, Lucas, if he nails one of these shots as they start to charge, that could be a completely different story. But the Sentinel is one of those unforgiving weapons, and that's why you don't really see it in style that much. But we've seen more of the Sentinel in the last 24 hours than we have the entire split too so far.
Makes me all sweaty.
Very good point, actually. We've seen these
What's
charge
that?
up Sentinels. Saw it earlier on
just, like,
today.
after-
Bad
just
Boys
after
still holding
eating,
on
like,
to the
now
spot. A
I
lot of
feel
these
like I'm
teams here,
sweating.
what the end goal is for the teams that have made this position into that next circle and have that next information is to just wait out to see where the circle is going to pull. There's no reason for Bad
You're all
Boys to give up
sweaty
this
now?
spot because
You
then
don't feel
RCO
good or
Esports
what?
are
It
going to
makes
take
me
that real
feel-
estate
I
for
don't
free.
know.
They're holding off to the right choke point. You see Energy still holding on to their own
You got a
position
shit?
right in front of Bad Boys. There's so many teams that have also been trying to poke from afar inside of the buildings over here by Survey Camp, and none of these squads want to fully send it because then they're just opening themselves up to these
Probably
third
run
parties
to the
when it
fucking
comes to
gas
more of these
station
northern
soon.
circles.
We'll see what Lucas can do.
Oh, you gotta go to the
1,
gas,
3, 3, 4
get some
damage. I just
fucking
wish it was 3 more.
Monstars or
Vicky,
what?
1, 3, 3, 7. That looks so cool. Lucas
Something.
being elite over there with his Sentinel,
Get
but
some
he's
fucking
running out of
crack
ammo
rocks,
eventually,
fucking
right?
put
So
it
he's
in
got to
your
be a
ass.
little bit careful. Yeah, you're shooting shots
Pretty
all the way
much.
across the map trying to get the third party kills,
Some
but
fucking weird shit.
eventually you're going to need that ammo if a team like NRG pushes you. And you can see NRG is continuing to posture back and forth. Fortunately,
Just
RCO
the
is
tip on
pestering them over
Twitch,
towards the
watching
side. So it's going to be
me.
big
Hell
chilling.
yeah, thank
While
you,
that was
man.
happening, a team that was big chilling, that's Xset, got
The
a
dude
kill on, I
Xset was
believe,
big chilling, he said.
from OXG. I don't believe the entire OXG
Yeah,
team was
yeah.
eliminated.
Chat, he said
That's
big
a tough
chillin'.
spot for them to be in. Speaking of tough spots, Bowser almost in no man's land in the middle here. This is not the vibe right now for Charlotte Phoenix. They're in the middle of the open. No more
Charlotte
bubble
Phoenix
after
is about
this.
to get fucking
TSM
shat
on
on,
their
I think.
case. Great shots coming through
Uh-oh.
from the team in blue
Here's
armor.
TSM, Imperial.
TSM in their favorite spot too. They love playing off that high ground after they rotate away from Fragment East. Now TSM now trying to take a little off angle. You see Hal trying to move up. He's got the portal too.
Why don't
He
you like
wants to
Hal?
close in the gap.
I want to do
It's
a
not
quick
that I
listen in
don't
with
like him,
TSM to
but
hear their
I
comms.
feel
Hal's
like-
almost on the
I feel
ground.
like
Let's
he
hop in
rages
real
too
quick.
much.
I need to heal.
He
I need to heal. I'm
rages.
one shot.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Still on height.
You
Gotcha.
go on
Come back
you
down,
can
I
fucking
think-
see
I'm not- I
YouTube
can't help
clips
you
of
up there.
just how he fucking talks to his teammates and shit.
Someone is on top of you. You
It's
got
fine,
get back
it's
up
fine,
in
I'm on
fragment.
my end.
There's a team on height.
Right,
You
like
need
he's
to
the
keep your
fucking man and
GBL,
all
so when
that.
they run away, we can use it against
Yeah.
them. Your GBL just like
Like he's the king
absolutely nothing.
douchebag and
I hit him
everybody
with it. I
else
did
is
400
less.
I
damage.
got you.
You didn't come that. I had no idea you did. You didn't say anything.
Some
about
people are shitty
400
like
damage.
that.
Yeah, and then he rages
Did you
like
hear that?
a
I
fucking
didn't
whiny
hear
baby.
400
He was calling people were low.
I was calling so much damage.
Wait, we're not
And
gonna
gets
open.
all
Look at this balcony,
butthurt
under
when
the
they
bridge.
fucking when he dies.
45
When they
push,
suck.
on the balcony.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's no team behind that, no name.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
they
the
get shot by somebody else.
IGL
They
making
just-
the
they're
just
calls.
died, just
Like,
died. Nice,
what do you
nice. I
expect?
have 0 bats now.
He's the
Off
what?
bat.
But you're
Watch out,
gaming
watch out, Jordan.
the IGL.
Okay, we're gonna go
The fuck
frag
is
west.
he?
Can we go frag west?
The what? He's the what leader? I don't understand what you're saying.
You're not big on Apex competitive.
No. Nope.
Popping
The IGL is called the in-game
You can drop me
leader.
back that arc if you want.
Oh.
How many nades do you have?
So every team has an IGL that makes all the decisions,
0 now.
Okay.
We have
like
extra
which way
batteries?
to rotate
No.
or what fight to take.
Yeah,
or
that's
what
not
fight to
Otter.
back out of.
Yeah, that's that dude. That's what I was telling you about when I was watching them play that shit they were doing.
We might wanna go
That dude
here,
was
think
telling them
about-
all what to do.
Valk was literally
Yeah.
arc started
Like,
off
and he
the
was
top.
getting pissed if they didn't do it.
Yeah,
We have to
and
go truck,
every
go
team
truck,
has an
go inside the
IGL
trucks
and they
now before
discuss
we
it
get
and
there
they
above us.
set
Come
it
on,
up
stop shooting.
pre-tournaments.
They might shoot you from above, so get along the wall.
I got you. No, that's cool. I mean, whatever. I wasn't sure. I didn't know the acronym,
Other
so.
looking.
Any way we can kill this team?
No. What the fuck are we gonna push that?
Hard fight.
We have double wingman.
That's probably
Okay.
G2.
I'm pumping at Phoenix. They might drop. They might look to drop.
Bop! They might
Yeah,
look
yeah,
at the
no,
drop. Bop!
I'm gonna
Diddy
pull it
bop!
out here.
I'm gonna-
They might drop when I do this.
Hal, somebody said Hal's always like this.
Photo's fine.
Taking.
Wait, someone's in the gas here. There's a team in the gas here.
Scott's a bot.
Yeah, they're gonna slide down.
Imperial,
get
they're
Epic.
gonna have a team right
We're
next to
gonna get
him.
We don't know if it's Epi is open. Just chill.
I hear him on the other side of that berg here.
Scott.
They're trying to cut them all.
Is it two
Yeah,
up
that's
there
what they
for
were
sure?
trying to do,
Intel?
but I don't know what's going on now. They stopped.
Yeah, the team's rotating.
just dodgeball
Probably through
here.
storm.
Wait, in the gap.
Finished it in.
Healing Bub, healing Bub.
In the gas
These
again
guys are
behind
big
us.
fucked.
I have Gibby ult, but I...
Go to
Yeah,
the
look
other
at
side.
'em
Go to
up
the
in
other
the
side. Go to
storm.
the other side on me. And shoot them.
Getting shot in the back.
Oh
We got
man,
ulted?
they're getting
At the back,
thirded.
at the back.
Go back, same spot. Go back.
TSM's getting third in chat. Lexi Nicole Henderson! What's up, love? How are you? I hope you were wonderful.
13.
I hope you were wonderful. Good to see you in the
I'm throwing Gibby
in
on
the
you.
liking menu. Thank you.
Seconds,
How are
seconds,
you
seconds.
today?
Crawl back, crawl back.
How are you today? How are you today? Mark Shaw. Thank you for the like, buddy.
For TSM fans,
I appreciate the
trying
like,
to stay
man. Thank you,
alive,
thank
using
you.
The knockdown shields, using the orange cone, but the wingman shots are connecting.
Oh, thank you,
Just
thank you,
one
Mark. How
HP.
are
I
you
like
today,
the
sir?
moves, but he's gonna have to
We're
return
watching. This
to
is
the
the Pro
battlefield
League of the
very
ALGS,
shortly.
which is
What
like
you love about the
these
dominance
guys
of
all right
TSM
here
is
are
they
like
do
the
feel
best of
dominated.
the
They
best
knew
in the
that with
world
G2,
at
they just didn't know
Apex.
how to get away from it.
So they're playing for $1 million pot pool, I think. Is that correct, Tip?
I think at the end of the day, it's like a $5 million pot pool.
Okay, so at the end of the day, when all this is said and done, they're playing for $5 million. Obviously, they don't get $5 million, but it all gets split up. So, Lexi Nicole Henderson, I am good. I am good. I'm glad to know you are good. TSM is out, chat. TSM is out. One of the teams that we were watching down here. That's why they got the little death box in the corner. I'm getting better, Lexi. I'm still dealing with the heart inflammation, but it's getting better, I think. So it's a slow process, but it's working. I appreciate everybody stopping by today. Thank you. Getting ready to watch Duke go down soon. Who's Duke playing? Mark. I know you're big on the
That
sports.
should highlight the skill gap right now.
That was my
And
buddy
you could see
Tip
a
that
lot
I
of
was
these
telling you
teams
is like
now
the Schwab.
getting a lot
My
more
buddy Mark.
comfortable as we're in the later ends of Split 2.
Yeah,
We
Mark
see
is like the
Renegades
Schwab.
making the comeback, utilizing and taking
He's got
advantage of
he's
that
got all the
process where
fucking
destroying
crazy
that
info
trap here.
about like
Didn't have to fully
Oh,
destroy it, just
sports
justify a
knowledge.
bit,
like
but
yeah, like fucking
whatever
girls
gets the job
volleyball
done
and
as
shit.
quick as possible, as Renegades are going to be able to move up.
Thank you,
Matt
Lexi.
Bruce
Teams are
on
left
the Ash.
17.
He's got the face
Thank
build,
you,
so
Lexi.
he needs to go right
I
back to
totally
the start. That's why
appreciate
we
it.
see him now pushing all the way up.
Totally appreciate it.
I like the aggressive play coming
It's a
into
slow
the madness,
process,
but now
man,
see
and
the
you know I
zone
think it was from
continuing to
COVID.
guard over towards the train tracks.
To be honest.
NRG will
So
have
that's
to make the
always no
rotation
good.
eventually. I think Bad
They're
Boys
playing.
have
Oh, that's right. They're
on
playing
the offensive
Arkansas.
side, so
That's
this is gonna
right.
be very
Yeah.
interesting.
I forgot. I
Responses
actually
all
heard that in
over
a
here. This is
stream the other day
insane, Vicky.
at the beginning of the
How many
week.
teams are still
And
alive?
watch
I mean,
UNC
17
win
here,
tomorrow.
4 kills. That's
What
a lot of
time's the
kills
Duke
coming
and
through
Arc
from this
game? Maybe
very
I'll
squad.
maybe I'll
So
stream
they
that.
will put this one over the hill,
We can
but
we
it's
can
gonna
watch it
be
together.
Gibby ult, and they do have
How's work been, Lex?
the
You've been
bubble.
doing
They
all
have
right?
The Nox gas grenade if they want to go and toss that one too. So
Mikey good.
40% until the defensive bombardment's up. That's gonna be very useful.
But
for
yeah,
them
what
to go.
time is the Arc and Duke game, Mark?
What's really
Maybe
nice
I'll
to see is
fucking
that
stream
Scary
it.
was able to kill maybe potentially Charlotte Phoenix or Oxygen as they usually land in Big Mod because they were able to get some of those Big Mod weapons. Now Lazarus on the bottom end of this rock. We see that
Lazarus
team right
right
there on
here.
the high ground. They're taking some
How many
off
teams
angles.
we
They
got
the
left? Damn,
charge rifle in their
17
hands to
teams
provide
left.
some of that extra
8:30, Mark?
pressure.
What time is it?
But they need to be careful here because they know that they could be between multiple
6:30,
squads making their
6:48.
rotation.
Alright, so
through
we
that
got 2
railroad tracks.
hours.
We
This will
see
be
where the
over by
circle's
then,
gonna be
right?
pulling
It'll be
in,
over
and
by
they're
about
gonna spot
probably
two.
8.
They know that Bad Boys are
I'd
across
imagine.
from them, and they're
We're
not
at
going to be
this.
giving
Blue Eli, thank you for the like. Yeah,
This probably won't
Charge
be done until
rifle
like
in hand
10.
has to be
Oh,
going for
okay.
this lobby, just getting
you're trying to
crushed for
quit. I
20,
hate it, and
34
he's been
over
good.
and
He
over
loves his
again,
new
looking for
job.
some
Well,
more
that's
pop
good.
shields
That's good to know.
There
I'm
it
glad
is.
that
Nice
Mikey is
shots
doing well,
with that weapon.
and that sucks that you hate your
With some
job,
hit scan action
because
coming
that's
through
always
from
no
the
fun when you
Lazarus
hate your
team,
fucking
but
job.
This is gonna get heated very soon. You can see now the teams are starting to filter in here, Vicky.
How you
Shots
been, Mark?
again
You
with
doing
the
good,
flat line.
buddy?
It's all about just peppering with the damage again. Trying to
I haven't
force
talked
the
to
enemy
Vic since he
teams
let
into
that
each
stupid
other
bitch
so
move
you can
back
get your
in.
free rotation in.
So
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't play Apex with him no more now that she's there. So, you know how that goes.
Prevent them from going wide, and if they are forced to go wide, they'll be put into the line of sight of Lazarus. So there's a good spot for Lazarus to hold while they inch their way into that next circle. But one thing they can't circle keep is
It's a joke. Our management is a joke.
What,
What, the front of the house or what? The back of the house? Or, I mean, what's the problem there? Is it like, is it the manager that manages the front of the house? Or like, what's your gripe there, Lex? I appreciate everybody stopping by, for real, and checking me out. We're not playing at the moment. We're watching this watch party here. We're watching these guys here are the best in the world, so it's kind of fun.
It's wild that both those teams end up going out right next to each other and fighting each other too, just like you were talking about, Vicky. But we do see a lot of action on
So
the
NRG is
side of these.
no, NRG's still in. Oh, I'm streaming it. Nope, NRG's now on the top chat.
You can heal.
I'm good.
Careful of the team in the train carts.
I'm here, sweet.
They're
I
just
just
all
brought
stuck
up
in that corner right there.
NRG. We watch these guys here until they die, chat. These guys here are the team that we want to win, so we'll watch them, I guess, instead of the ALGS.
We have no names.
Just for commentation. Comment. Yeah, you know what I mean. I've been seeing her there going in and out,
Get ready to swing this
but yeah,
together.
just
We're
bored
gonna
doing
bubble out wide
nothing
here,
here.
Rocker, okay? And we're gonna swing all of them.
Yeah,
That's the other team.
I
That's the other team.
fucking Vic told me about it.
I'm holding it now.
Didn't really want to talk about it, so we didn't really talk about it. Now he deleted his Facebook and shit. So
Get the truck.
I'm going above them.
We might
I
get
don't
near
really,
from the train
I
cart.
don't talk to him near as much as I did just like a month ago. But yeah, I'm bored here too, bud. That's why we're doing this shit, hanging out. Oh yeah, get him! Holy shit!
Reset back to our spot after we loot.
I'm going back.
Go back. All the way to the rock.
Oh, they're fucked.
They're big fucked. Yeah.
Can we fucking get up there? That spot's good up there.
But he's stupid and let her back in there for no fucking reason.
25 over 90. I'm too bad.
I would be keeping her a secret too. Who the fuck wants to know that? I'm in the kitchen for kitchen management. It's like working with high schoolers and getting penalized
Pop a bat in the
and
open here.
shit. Or have family emergency. Said I'm not a dependable
No, my spot's not even good.
My spot's really good.
Okay, yeah, we play on Rocker.
Well, that sucks, Lexi. I'm
get
sorry,
into
dear. You know, maybe
minus-
sometimes,
we have
Lexi,
to
you
go
don't
here.
quit jobs because you hate the job. You quit jobs because you hate the people that are in charge of you. So I totally understand if you know, if you're fucking, if you're you know, if you would leave. I mean, nobody can blame you. Those guys, you know what I mean? You gotta, everybody's gotta be understandable. And that sounds like they're being a fucking, being stupid for no reason. But yeah, Mark, I'd be keeping her a secret too, because who the fuck wants to know that? And now we're not good enough again because she's there. But whatever. That's how it's always been, though. Gotta put an application in like it works. Well, Lexi, I pray you get the job, honey. I really do. That'd be awesome. I hope you get it. He's been calling me to come down, but he always calls the worst time. He gets mad when I can. Well, you know how Vic is. If you don't come when he wants you to, he gets all fucking butthurt about it. But I mean, what are you gonna do? Tell him to come up to your house. Why you always gotta go down to his house? Tell him to come the fuck up there. You're welcome, Lexi. Always love to see everybody do better, you know. If you can do better, then you should. Oh, NRG got second. Fuck. We got second, chat. Fuck, man. Ah, that was close.
Grenade, but
We'll switch back to the ALGS pro guys so we can hear them talk and all that. Like calling me at work. What time do you work, Mark? What do you work? Second shift? He works first shift now. He got moved to first shift.
The playoffs, anywhere between 11th and 20th right now. Not quite sure exactly where they are. Somewhere around 17th, but W, they were in 11th. They're playing pretty good. That's
appreciate everybody stopping in though, for real, and checking me out, talking, commenting. I appreciate it all.
I mean, looking at the way that RCO Esports performed in the Challenger circuit, Tom, I'm not surprised. We were talking a little bit about them in the pregame, and just looking at the way that RCO has been able to perform consistently, at least being within that top 10, top 15 spot, they're looking to take this entire lobby by a storm, taking that win.
Oh, you
They
work
get
weekends,
9
Mark?
kills and the dub on
Are you
top
at
of
work
it.
right now?
It's really crazy what one win in this split will do for your
Said you were
confidence.
bored.
Now
Are you
they're
at
starting
work?
to string them together. I think in split 1 they
Big
only
game
had
for
one win. Maybe
NRG.
they didn't even
Yeah,
pick up
big
many.
game for
16
NRG.
points.
Picking up some
Yeah.
serious points here with that one too.
Yeah, NRG did pretty
21
good, chat.
overall. NRG was
We
popping off.
got 7
Teams
kills,
saw
got
them.
fucking
XZ did
9
a great
placement
job on
points.
their
That's pretty decent.
rotations.
16
But a tough
points.
game for a lot of those teams on the outside looking in.
Oh
Again,
shit.
G2,
Oh
TSM,
shit. Excuse me.
basically taking each other out over towards the
Yeah,
side.
G2 got shat
Some
on.
teams
So did
coming back,
TSM that
hunting
time.
down
It's
TSM,
alright though.
and then they went down, I believe, to
all good.
Oxygen got
Scary
what?
a little
6?
after that. So you see on the second page, not a lot of points to be had for these teams. That couldn't make it
5
this far.
points though.
Yeah, but I
Unfortunately,
work
surprisingly,
weekends. No, I
TSM
took
out with
COVID
18
leave.
G2 right afterwards, right after
You
G2
can
was
still do
trying
the
to send
COVID
down
leave
TSM,
thing, Mark?
were getting
What
pinched
the
by
fuck?
Scary. But to highlight
You
that
lucky
this is
son
such
of
a
a
good
bitch.
position for RCO to be in. RCO overall in the overall
I have to
standings are
pretend
sitting
I
in
have COVID to be
14th.
able to take
This
COVID
is
leave.
great news for a Challenger Circuit squad that
You gotta
has this
pretend.
lane
That's all he
in
has to
sight,
do.
the top
Like all he has to
10,
do is
to
call
make
in
their way over
and
to
tell him that he
Sweden.
doesn't
And
feel good. He
with
might
this
have
win,
COVID,
yeah,
and
you
they
will be
pay
putting
him.
a lot of damage. It was all about that
Yeah.
positioning. and
Motherfucker, my
coming
buddy
in
Mark,
at
he
the
works
right
at
time to
Walmart
face off against
distribution.
those players. But Sleepy Panda was popping off with those sentinel shots.
So many major organizations.
Mark, I heard
are
Marissa
looking
died.
strong going
Stormy's
forward to
sister
make it
or
into the
whatever.
playoffs. It would be amazing
I just
for
found
a
out.
new organization
I forget.
like
I forget who
RCO
told me to be
stamp
honest.
their ticket into
I'd be getting home
Stockholm.
about now,
Wow.
but this
I'm
is
just
the last
surprised
week
by
to
the way
do
that
it.
Sleepy
This is
Panda
the
was
last
able
week
to
you can
connect
do what the
on
COVID
those
shit.
sentinel shots. Not
So you
only
took
that,
advantage of it.
got-
I like
They
it.
got Rocker back up fairly quickly there.
Smart
I'm curious
man.
what Kate thinks about that game. Let's bring her back to the desk.
Smart man.
Well, I'll tell you what, any game that has
gonna suck going
Caustic
back, though.
in the late game, and any game that really showcases what Noxgas can do is a good one for me. And I'm also really loving the coverage on
Mark
my
or
double pick.
chat.
He
This is the
doing
chick
some
that I
great
like. I
things,
think
but
she's
we've also seen the
gorgeous.
likes
This
of
chick right here
RCO,
with
as you
the
mentioned, doing
like
incredible
fucking.
things up
I guess
against
she has
what we
red
would
hair.
call those top
Like
tier,
real
the
red hair?
G2s, the NRGs, the TSMs. Well, they're saying, hey, listen, this lobby's
Oh,
wide
the
open.
bottom
Let's
left.
not even go
Yeah, the
to
bottom
that
left.
chapter.
She's
But
beautiful.
Let's talk about the first one we had today, which was match
I forget what her
number one,
name is. What's
because
her
it
name?
gives me a chance to talk about some caustic
No
barrels because
idea.
they were
They all
everywhere,
they all have
Tom.
names.
They were on the high ground. They were
Obviously.
in buildings where everywhere you smell it. The
I would
stinky
hope
legend
so.
and that Knox gas.
God
They
damn.
had some incredible. Look at you could
Fuck
even
you.
you could
Hey,
even see
girl,
the
red
flame
hair.
through the gas.
Hey, you with the red hair.
There are
Get the
so
fuck
many
over here.
processes.
Let me-
That's why I
let me
love
talk
the
at you
point
one
that
second.
Vicky brought up in terms of, hey, maybe someone should bust out the crypto
Hey,
and counter
redhead.
this in World's Edge for
Hey,
NA because
ginger.
you're going to be getting rid of a ton of barrels all over the map. You're going to be getting a lot of EMPs off. Be the only one of the
Yeah,
only
caustic.
players
There it
inside
is,
the
man. The
lobby, too, so
caustic, the
imagine just
Gibby, and the
continually
fucking
getting scans on the
the
zones,
fucking
but, yeah, you
whatchamacallit.
saw the sniper
Valk,
was on
Valk,
Blue
man,
was
I'm
for the
telling you.
majority of these
Now our
teams.
pay
And
is
then
so good
LMK
now. I'll have so
methodically
much money I
making
won't
their
know
way
what
on
to do
over
with it.
towards this trailer.
COVID
Really
raises.
stuff you
Well, fuck yeah, man. I know what you can do with it. Come bring your ass down here and hang out with me for a fucking couple days, motherfucker.
Yeah, they don't pay us well. We're fucking hospitals. At least they pay him well.
Yeah, imagine that. That's the
the
world. It's the world we live in, chat.
What are COVID raises? Working a
Chad, I
hospital,
lost
that's
10
what it
pounds.
is.
I'm fucking super happy. I went from 191 to 181 in like the last month and a half, so super happy about that.
Yeah, I almost got a sense of deja
Trying to
vu
get down to
seeing
170.
W on that sniper tower with
Not be
the
such a
Kraber.
fat
I mean,
piece of
it's
shit.
Basically replicating what we had seen just yesterday, but you highlight some of these teams.
What's your boy
LSK,
Blood
W,
doing?
What's my
RCO.
boy Blood doing? I don't know.
When it's opposite
Oh, he's
day
playing
and you have that
Olympus.
second page
He's waiting
filled
for
with
you.
these
He's waiting
T1
for you. He's not
teams,
waiting for
T1
me.
teams
Oh,
just
'cause he's
not
seen
really
me.
making
I bet
it
he's seen
within
me
this
go
top
live.
five. This
And
is
then
one
we-
of
and
those
then
where you're
thought we
gonna
were
get
playing
it, but the
Apex, and I
only
bet he
team
got
really
on.
here to stay consistent has been G2.
Yeah,
Energy
imagine
making
that,
their way, of
chat.
course, into
I
the
would
top
if I
three as
didn't
well
have
in that
pets.
conversation,
Oh
but it's
shit.
so
How
difficult
many pets
when
you
it
got,
comes
man?
to these caustic compositions on World's Edge when you have nowhere to
How many
go.
pets you got? I can send my dad over. Oh yeah, and by the way, Mark, did your dad ever get that shit figured out with his electric and water? Because my dad knows how to fix that out there
and
at
then
that
there's
new
some
house
teams
that he
like
built.
TSM
You
that
need like an
seemingly just
underwriter and
play
like a
up
bunch of
to
shit to
their
get the electric and water turned
Dude,
back
playing
on.
so much Apex and watching
So
so much Apex that I
he was
almost
trying to
forgot that
call
that's
you.
something
He
with the mode
texted
check
you
existed for the first
to try to help you
strategy
out
there.
and
But
get your dad's phone
TSM,
number. So
going
I
back
don't know
to
if
what
you
you're
ever
talking
figured
about,
it out,
they have
but
not been able
I
with
could
their
send my dad
positions
over to
to
watch your fucking
capitalize
pets and
on
let
any
him out
type
and
of
shit. He loves
rotations.
fucking
You see
dogs and shit,
one person
cats.
capitalizing on
I don't know how
Hennessy,
many you
that's gonna
got.
be
Hell,
Sleepy
just bring him with you
and
then. How many
waking
you
up the
got?
lobby.
2 dogs and 2
Yes, that was that.
two
that wasn't
cat,
just an alarm,
2
that
dogs,
was a,
cat,
that
2
was
ferrets.
a, I don't know, a
Jesus
full
Christ, it's a
building
fucking
shake.
zoo.
Sure, certainly. Vicky,
He
let's
got
talk
a
about
well?
that. I mean,
Oh,
this has to
okay,
be
good.
beautiful for the
I'm glad he got a
RCO
well.
fans everywhere. And you know what? I appreciate the
That's
1-2
awesome.
punch of
Good
Nice
for him.
Noxcast, our
And that
grenade
eliminates
coming
the
in to
fucking
really
water problem. Then
showcase
the
what
electric's on and
Caustic
all
can
that
do,
shit.
especially
He
at
got
the
all
end,
that working.
especially after those incredible plays from Sleepy Panda, who is, to your point, not so sleepy anymore.
Especially when you have to gas out all
Go
of the
play
players on
Fortnite
the
with the
inside
other
of that car. I mean,
12-year-olds.
where are you
The
gonna go?
comment
You're
deleted.
basically funneling them into the line of sight of the rest of your team. They have to get out of there because of the amount of damage.
Mark, I
that
could
take damage
I could for
ranks
real
can
send my
do.
dad
So
over.
It's so difficult, but I don't expect to see this many caustics as we enter Storm Point.
He doesn't like you that
Which is
much.
making me sad all day. But that's okay because we've got a lot more interesting things happening.
Good try,
Really
though.
interesting things happening here, Tom. We did see a little bit of early.
Austin
we saw
wired the
some
house.
aggro
Oh,
kind
okay.
of off the
I got
rip
you.
for some of these areas.
Hazel's
some of these
kid.
teams
Oh, okay.
dropping in our first couple
That's
of
awesome,
matches,
man.
which
Hell
I
yeah.
love to see, but of course can make looting a little
So
bit
so who
difficult.
is he still living next to
Yeah,
you
no doubt
then,
about
or
it. We
what's he
had some
doing with
pretty
that
fun
place? Is
zones
he
here
gonna
at the
rent it
Classic
out or
Zone
sell
over
it or
towards
what?
the northern side, and you saw how fast everybody was at rotating, right? The W's, the X-sets, they're making some serious moves overall. Unfortunately for the
Lexi,
teams on
what
the south
what does
side, we
Mikey
didn't
do
get that
again
much
now?
action going on over towards
I
there.
forget what you
G2
said.
had a
Didn't you
pretty
say he
tough
works at
rotation
Walmart or
going
something?
all the way from down in Thermal Station to the opposite side of the map in that last game. So it's pretty surprising to see that they were able to pick up TSM along the
So
way.
he said
because
remove
TSM's
caustic. I hate
in
that
fragment,
character.
and
What do you
then
mean?
somehow G2 gets
He's a
above them.
beast.
So that's a little bit weird in terms of that's what I'm talking about with the
Tell him
rotations
stop being a
from
pussy.
TSM. It doesn't seem to
Yeah,
be as
stop being a
crisp
fucking puss.
today as usual.
Remember they made it so you could shoot his
Seems like
gas traps
it
now.
has impacted our
They don't
leaderboards
linger
here
as long.
for NA.
Could they
Match three,
could they
Group
nerf him into
A,
the ground
BB.
anymore?
Here we
Mark,
are,
are you-
and
Mark, are you
RCO
are you
Tom. Yeah,
fucking?
talk
Oh
to me
wow,
about the WoW, Tom,
RCO's at
because
the
that
top
for
right
me-
here. Is the
right,
overall
yeah, I'm
leaderboards.
just gonna sit back here.
This
Wow.
this is unbelievable. You never would have predicted this. in a
Holy
million
bought it.
years
He's living
because
there
you're
with
also looking at
his
the team that
dad
I don't believe has any
till he
points right
goes.
now,
Oh,
sitting
okay.
in fourth overall on this leaderboard.
Well, that's
So
cool,
after
man.
5 days, I believe
Is
they were
Hula
able to
is
accumulate
Houlihan
everything. I think
fucking
that was
decent and
multiple
all
last
that? He's
places.
being
Just
cool.
goes to show you that this is
I know he was a
completely
little
different
weird
day,
growing up,
and it does come to play.
but I
So
mean he's all
very
right.
competitive and very even.
Is it the kid or the
You're
old
absolutely right,
guy?
Vicky, as we take a look at the
So I
second
remember the
page,
old guy, but
who
I
would
know
have
I think
thought?
he had a
We
kid
did see
too.
the likes of so many of our teams that we have been keeping an eye on in that first page. But guess what?
Go ahead and drop
see
a drop a
1 and
like,
an 8 in front
a
of
share, a
the
follow.
TSM game.
Would help me out,
I
guys.
Fuck
don't
you.
Good.
think I've ever seen TSM sit so low in the overall leaderboards this deep into our day here in NA, which is really surprising. Say hello to my little friend! Teams always performing to their highest standards.
Oh, this is
but
match
recently,
3. This
within
is
the last 2 rounds,
what,
they
for
really haven't been
today?
able to be up to that bat.
Yeah.
It is a very
Okay,
interesting.
so
Yeah,
that's
so we're
just
going
one
into
round for today.
so after they play 3 games on Storm
TSM,
Point.
I feel
I think, and
kinda
then
bad
what, 3
sometimes
games on
because
World's
so many
Edge?
fans and so
Chat?
much
Well, I
of
think they're
our-
going to 3
our
World's Edge and then
expectations
3
heaped
Storm
upon the
Points.
shoulders under
It's
the
kind of,
bright
and
lights
then
of
and then
those
in
three
between
guys.
each game,
But
the
there's a
old man
reason for
Hooli,
it, of course,
his
and
kid
it's
lives across
TSM has
town. But yeah, he's
continually
awesome.
been the
Yeah,
team that always
Hooli
looks
was always
for
cool as
premier play.
when we
So
were
we'll
growing
see
up.
what's
My
interesting. I
dad
will
used to
also
hang
say,
out with
Tom,
him
and
and
tell me
shit.
if you agree with this.
And your dad, so
A motivated TSM, a
He was
TSM
always
that
cool.
feels like they're up against the wall,
smoking
that
and
has
fucking
not
chilling.
performed as
Oh,
well
okay,
as
so
they
the first
could,
3
as well
matches
as they'd
chat
like,
was
as well
World's
as they
Edge,
know
and
they
now we're
can.
going into Storm
Coming
Point.
into a match 4,
But that's dope,
that's
man, to have
scary.
Hooli living
I
next
think
to
there's
you.
a couple reasons why we saw TSM struggle.
Is
I'm
your
gonna
dad,
start with
your
the
dad, so your dad
conversation.
lives
I
out there
really think
full time
they're
now
gonna
then?
change, but let's again touch base on how many caustics are actually in this lobby. Almost every single team is running caustic. So how are you going to be able to push through these barrels?
This
when
might
when you
be
don't have
over
that
early
legend
then.
on your team, that could be some of the
Seems like
struggles
it's
that we're seeing
cruising
today.
right along.
Well, I mean,
Well,
yeah,
you know
it's
what?
only
We're gonna
another.
find out
We got 3
once
games, so it's
the
like an hour and a
future
half.
holds for not just the TSMs,
Yeah,
NRGs,
what time
and
they
G2s
start,
of the
like
world, but
6?
certainly those
think so.
squads, like the Ws, the RCOs, and the
Yeah,
LMKs
shit'll
that
be
have
done
really
by
been
like
popping off
8:30.
throughout the first 3 matches.
That's
and
what I
we're
was
gonna see
thinking,
them
chat.
on Stormpoint.
Then I can go to bed.
Coming up right after this.
Come on, chat. Let me go to bed.
He don't drink anymore, so he's better. No, he lives with your dad. Okay. I got you.
Today's our day.
I got you, man. Well, that's good that Hooley stopped drinking. That's probably a good thing for him. It doesn't do nothing but fucking bring you down, in my opinion. Not like you can't drink and have a good time every now and again, but I know that's all those motherfuckers did. Him and fucking your uncle.
That's as savage as you are. Lenovo Legion.
And fucking Waldo and shit. You remember when Waldo smashed his face on my dad's fucking station wagon in the street after drinking or trying to chug that fucking whole gallon of Yukon Jack? And we were like fucking 16.
Oh, it sounds terrible.
Yeah, dude. It was terrible, alright. That's what me and Mark used to drink. Yukon Jack, baby. Yukon Jack! And fucking this old head guy, you know, was probably like in his 30s, like we are now. Fucking would come over and drink with us and shit. And that motherfucker would like, he grabbed it and like tried chugging it and shit. They both live next door till my dad moves. But he bought it already. Beetle sober 3 years. Holy shit. Beetle Rena's sober for 3 years. That's good, man. For real. That's good news. I'm glad to hear that, dude. Beetle was always pretty cool. And Holy. How's your grandma, dude? Is Effie still around? Always loved her fucking food, man. Coming home from school and fucking going to your house and eating, that was always good shit. So yeah, chat, we got a minute 30 here, and we're gonna go ahead and start the next game. I'm gonna give you a little bit of fucking information here. You can either care about or not care about. It doesn't matter to me.
Fucking 100 Thieves. Omni.
Damn, Beetle Rena's been sober for 3 years. That's fucking crazy. When's the last time you drank, Mark? You still drinking or what? I haven't. I've had a bottle of tequila for like fucking 3 years. It's still like half full.
Tucker, I need you to relax.
Oh, she does dialysis a couple times a week, but she's still there. That is awesome, bro. I'm very glad to hear that. That sucks she does dialysis, though. You tell her the next time you talk to her, Mark. You tell her that I ask about her. And I hope she gets better and gets well. Beetle got diabetes, huh? Diabetes? You're drinking now? Jesus Christ, man.
Good shit, Mark.
Yeah, good shit, Mark. What are you drinking? Oh, Chris Pimpo, what are you doing? Am I affiliate? No. I'm not affiliate, Chris Pimpo. I'm not affiliate.
You're gonna get banned.
What are you drinking now, Mark?
Maybe you have to be affiliate to stream. Maybe you'll get banned.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Ready to go. A lot of Apex Legends has occurred.
Don't get reported.
We are mixing it up now, heading to Storm Point. It's Rainday and James here with you on the cast. And it's been a heck of a day.
He's drinking now. He's drinking Yukon Jack, baby. Ah, yeah. Fuck yeah. Yukon is fucking ruthless, man. That shit is fucking... That's why I got hair on my fucking face and my ass and shit from that stuff when I was a kid. That's fucking woo. Are you drinking it straight, Mark? Are you having snake bites or what are you doing?
Quite the leaderboard.
Chat, what do y'all like to drink? Y'all drink liquor? Y'all drink fucking beer or wine? What do y'all like?
With the weapons, of course, with the longbow and the replicator now. Normally we're expecting a charge rifle, but we saw some nice sentinel highlights in that last game. And the teams that we're seeing towards the top today it's pretty good to see. But the question is, can they hold on to these inroads they have made towards some nice points for the day? Because in a lot of these different teams are in different situations, be it trying to qualify the flag, be it trying to get out of the relegation zone. There's a lot of different things at play for these different teams. So for many of the unusual names, we are seeing some great things in the top half, and all the talent predictions now are in the bottom half. Kate is leading with W up front. Or I think no, actually NRG have taken them over, haven't they? So I guess it's TSM and W now with some fat L's, and NRG will be in the lead.
Some big L's,
And,
yeah.
you know, teams
Still
like,
never
even
had
on the
snake
first
bite,
half,
but yes, straight out of the bottle.
look at
My
the
ninja,
way that
man.
RCO are playing,
He is hard as a
guys that
fucking.
deserve a shout-out.
He
You
is
know,
hard as
fifth
fucking
place, held by
piece of
XM.
steel,
We don't
man.
talk about him a lot. We
Still
have
never had
Wilson
snake.
with
Snake
them.
bites are good,
We
man.
get
You
to
mix
see
that
them
shit with
play
lime.
Vayne, Kenny,
That's good.
Vayne. Obviously, Vayne
You
coming
used to
from
get those at
100
the
Thieves
bar,
as a
man.
team
Drink
and
3 or 4 of
for
them.
Apex that
Woo!
is continually doing
It's
big
just
things.
lime, Mark. You
They
get
got
that fucking
great
lime
content
shit in
creators.
that
They've
bottle
got
at the fucking
great
store.
org here that's committed
Just
to this
fucking
Apex
squirt it in the
esports.
shot glass, half and
So
half.
gotta
It's pretty
shout
good.
them out. NRG though jumping
Actually,
11, you're
it
right.
actually
but
dulls down the
scary
Yukon a
jump
little
10,
bit. It's
and
not so
it is
brutal.
just the incessant and sometimes what people might feel.
What'd you say, Eli? You're going to bed after this?
Success of Ganjamin because he is
I hope so.
a character we can't really get rid of him.
Oh, for real? You don't want to play no more?
He is just a kill
I don't know.
machine. He honestly is.
Shit, got me
dragging
ready to
the
go to
best of
bed.
them in a team that isn't within that maybe top 5 echelon. But today they're 6th, and they can keep on moving up. That's kind of what's fun about the way we've got the next 3 games set up.
Damn,
us
it's
as well.
TSM's only
James,
good on World
your
Edge.
thoughts so far? I also.
Who do you think's
we
gonna
have
win
time
this one?
before we load up. I'd love to see just kind of where we are for the playoff picture
Eli.
as well to give people an
I don't know,
overview.
one of the
But,
top 20 teams.
What are your thoughts on this? Because this kind of sets. The
I have
table
lemon,
for
been drinking
teams
lots of
like XM,
water,
teams
never
like
bought a
W, How
lime.
important it is.
Yeah,
to
buy the lime,
keep
man.
this
Try it
momentum
out.
up
It's
today.
pretty good.
Yeah, I think
Hell,
W
even
was,
try the
a
lemon.
great
I guess the
choice
lemon
by
wouldn't be
Kane,
that bad either,
especially
probably.
because
Mix them both,
they're
really.
on
Fuck it.
52 points.
Yeah, I've been drinking lots of
Going,
water too, Mark.
3 spaces up,
Lots of
Sentinels
water.
are on 58. They're only
That's all I
like
drink
8th
now.
place,
Lots of
only
water.
6 points away from where they are at the moment. So there is so much opportunity. There are points on the table.
Water is good
And
for
again,
you.
I think if you don't have 75 and above, then you might not be comfortable with where you are at present. So there's definitely danger. We can see Team Liquid only 2 points away from falling out of LAN. Like this is
Team
not tough to
Liquid.
spot them. And the same for CLG, who I think have had an underwhelming end to the previous year, but there's some great potential for them if they can hold on to their place.
Which is the
and move
team
out
of
that
It's
zone. But
Timmy?
again,
I don't know. Which
these-
team
these
does It's
last
Timmy
games,
play
these
for?
last days for North America,
Eli.
they're so important. Torrent especially. they're
Water with
definitely a
lemon,
team
no
with
sugar.
a
Yeah. Water with lemon, no sugar.
There's a
Hell
lot
yeah.
to fight for in this middle table.
Yeah, the
Even
lemon
RCO,
doesn't make
who are
the
leading
lemon makes the water not
leaderboard,
taste
if that
like
were to
ass.
win
I
today
I
would
got
do
you.
for them. That would put them in the mix.
I drank
for
water
most
so much when
likely
I was in the
7th,
fucking
something
Marines that it
around
doesn't matter
area,
anymore.
8th.
I can drink
And
water
that would be
warm.
huge. And you look at XSET and
Fucking
Finn,
boiling in the sun,
we
tastes
talk
like
about these
plastic.
things meaning, Scary right behind them. These are 3 teams
So I drank a fuck ton of
that are
water today.
performing extremely well because they have to. Because it determines whether they're going to LAN or not.
I
Determines
drank
if they're fighting
well,
for $1
so
million.
we'll round it up. I drank
And,
I drank
on the
60
back
I
half
drank
of this, you
68
start to see a little bit more
fluid
desperate
ounces of
situations.
water today
Ghost
so
Gaming,
far,
CLX,
and it's
they are in this
I
lobby.
got 2 more
And
hours. So
LMK, a team that has been involved. I think they might have even taken our first game today.
before we're gonna go to bed.
Desperation
Well,
across the board.
probably
LMK
longer than that.
facing
What is
a
it,
different
7?
kind though, because they're trying to stay in this thing.
Probably got
get
3 more
out of
hours, so we
relegation.
might drink a little
Certainly
bit more
top
water.
10, would do wonders for them as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll be up all night taking
desperation.
pisses
Furia are
every 3
3
hours.
paces away from being in the relegation zone, and that is that's not where they want to be, quite clearly.
No.
And I think they've had some very underwhelming games so far. So they definitely need to, even if they're not going to make it to LAN, they need to make it away from the
This
danger
dude's
zone
name's
there,
Harry
because
Mountain.
even if they are
Good
in a
talking. Gonna
situation
go
where,
do some
challenge
dishes and
teams come
laundry
up
before the
they
game
do
comes
way
on.
better
All
in
right,
this
buddy.
scenario, you don't want to be
I
there in
appreciate
the
you
first
stopping
place,
in, Mark Shaw.
especially
Thank you,
when
man.
you like to talk
It was good
about
talking with
such-
you. I hope you
Well,
and your dad and everybody's
there's no
good.
time to talk
Please tell
today.
Effie I said
It
hello,
is all
and I
about
hope she gets
action.
better
We
and feels
switched
well.
maps, and there's 3 games left. It's time to put
You
up
be
or
safe
shut
too,
up.
brother.
It is Storm Point,
Stay out of trouble.
ready to go. For
Don't
these
get too
teams
drank.
Desperately in the need. RCO, you saw W. You look at squads needing the points to advance. And
This
to
dude in the
make it
chat, Eli,
into
says house
playoffs.
haters need to
This
stop.
is their moment. And at the top of the leaderboards, it is just
Okay, yeah.
doing what they've done already. So at least
NRG,
the formula
let's
is
go.
figured out.
Let's
It's not
go.
something so unusual. It's just a matter of staying consistent,
TSM,
playing
NRG,
the circles the way that
G2.
you've
Let's
done,
go, baby.
and being confident that you have an opportunity.
Big brain
to,
plays, chat.
really make some great momentum for your org.
Stink has to be the most interesting name we have in this lobby.
Oh,
Oh, you're a pro player? Oh, what's your game attack?
so
Deliberate, confident, and maybe maybe it can work, but maybe he won't get his stink on in this particular game because his team are in a lot of trouble right now as Watched fly around. Lots of pre-fire from Jeldan, but now he's the only man standing for his team, and there are problems on either side. Hiding behind a white shield is less than ideal. Trying to get his shield up. He has got blue, so if he can kill that, then he could be in a good spot. Hemlock and Rampage to switch between as he thinks about, does he go for a res of his teammate, or does he try to go for the thirst instead? He'll get the Jibby down at the very least. Make sure there's no dome if he can. There we go. Nice work so far. Falling back now. Nice spatial awareness there. Make sure they can't get any semblance of a dome. And that's a worst case scenario as well. They put themselves 2 KP at the very least while he tries to
No, I said I'm not eating shit.
You know, clearly he doesn't have any ordinances, right? So I think he's just going to let his teammate call out the comms. Is he running around the corner? He certainly is. Now he just hides behind these shields. Sometimes they can be hard, but doing a really good job, Jeldan, of not allowing... Oh, wow. Just let him get by. I think he's biding time, and you know, he may be able to round the circle. He's going to have to peek here. He knows he's low, but it's kind of a beautiful play because he's saying, well, if you don't come here, I'm just going to get my teammate up. If you do, we know you haven't had time to heal. So it's a beautiful situation. Just don't get headshot. That's all it is. It's a little bit of a mind game, a little bit of chess. And Greek is literally one shot away. He's going to go for the rest, and he's going to do it. And Greek is going to take the trade. He's going to hit the med kit. And if he doesn't, now he's got 2 players to fight. The bubble is down.
100 Thieves,
it was
nice
tough.
wig,
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
prison.
And Washed win that one. Really nice play from Jeldan and the squad to manage that fight.
W in an early fight. We've got double domes outside as they look for an early W. Very nice headshot. Sit down, please. Trying to get those long-range shots, but you're not making it to that launcher, my friend. You are going to be out for now, and we'll see if... Oh, no, never mind. OXG have been eliminated, so wherever the other player went, I think he may have landed into some trouble as well, if that was all of OXG in that team. But W, looking, again, we saw their position in the overall leaderboard. They have great potential, and that is some extremely valuable KP for them early.
Well, here's how it's going to start. We can expect an ending towards
who's dead already?
The bottom half or the center of this. You don't quite know yet. We're still waiting for that secondary circle information, but it will be central, and that is
what are you talking about?
You know, it won't be northern. It won't be necessarily southern and Gale like the places we've seen. Lazarus
says 18
is in need of points, and they look to find him. Bird on a blue. Dank hitting that Phoenix kit. Certainly needs to rise from the ashes of this one and climb up to continue the fight if they do want to finish off that KP, but I think they'll be content here. Round 1, you're alive, you're looted up, you've got a little damage, and you've got your Valkyrie Skyward Dive ready to go. You've also got a Black Market Boutique here, so who knows what'll come through. And Loba, as a burglar, her best friend, will help provide to them.
Is Loba meta in this shit or what?
I don't mind a boutique, but you know, where's the free bottle of water? That's my question.
This isn't an airplane flight, you know.
This lobby, there's a lot of contesting on Stormpoint, and there's a lot of teams who want to land in the same place, and they're going to battle it out. They're going to flip the coin. But while it is early on Stormpoint, it's late in the day on the leaderboard. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of these teams who have maybe lost out on these initial coin flips will find somewhere else to land and try and limit their early variance. But then again, perhaps not. There is pride involved as well, and pride can lead to our demise as well. And have a look at how busy this area is going to be. Exet and Lazarus already coexisting as we see one below, one above, but now there are limited angles with which for them to maneuver because everybody's a bit
Somebody said
TSM,
dog
and there isn't
water.
food for everyone.
No, there's not. It's a buffet, but you still got to pay to get in. Buff Pathfinder, they lose Dressav. Kimchi Lee hitting a bunch of shots. That grenade is definitely going to force them towards the back. I'm not sure it'll do any damage, but it's enough for Vayne to feel confident that he's applying pressure. I always wonder about those trades because, you know, it's a grenade gone. It could have been in the pocket. Is it better to do it and take the risk? Is it better to just save it when you know you're going to be able to get some value on it and they really can't go anywhere to avoid it? It's still early, though, so it's not like they're worried about running into another grenade after a while. Dodges the nice choked-up shot. Asura working with a Mastiff. Is he working with shield cells, though? Doesn't have time to hit any of the recovery yet, but AP Crook, you can see on your backside, holding out the edges. It's also Bursty and Buff Pathfinder inside. So, as you said, James, a lot of players hold the same real estate, not enough room for everybody.
Oh, wow. We've got a Bacon double thermite being thrown outside by Buff Pathfinder, but there are so many open windows. Really hard to find an angle behind some cover, especially when you don't have You're Gibraltar. You don't have the dome. You are lacking in protection. It's very nervous
He's
situation.
a fucking monster.
Just falling back now as this is a very busy area.
Yeah, the Ashes thing definitely is further on computer.
Exit with 2 purples and a white armor.
Probably like double.
Which one out as there are definitely some
it's
boxes
so bad.
around. And what has become of Lazarus? We can see they are still downstairs, but those buildings will be
It's like
occupied
not
by
even
our third
funny
team as well
how
now.
much further
So
it
it's
is.
only
No,
getting
it's
more
just like the
compressed.
grapple on
We can see
fucking.
Renegades are fishing around as well. They
And
put their
the
hooks out,
zip line
trying
and
to catch
shit.
something, trying to
Yeah,
feed the
fucking
family.
stupid.
You can see how awkward things are for Lazarus. They have a Valk, but how would you even find an angle to launch without
Who's
getting
fucking
shots as well
alive and
if
who's
they
dead
need
already?
to rotate later on? This is going to be very uncomfortable for
18
them.
squids.
Black Boutique or not. Black Market Boutique, excuse me.
At least they keep it predictable, you know, and in that case, what I like about something like this is you just know
This is the
what
first
your
store
options are,
point.
and so does everyone else around
Yeah.
you. Being in a building,
It's
in many
game 4,
ways,
chat.
is strong because of the defense, of
This shit's
course,
fucking
and just
boring.
being shielded from any damage outside. But it's also strong
It's almost
because you
over.
only have certain options when you are playing out
I
in the
mean, it's
field.
halfway over.
It does take a certain level of confidence and willingness to give away 2 good options for maybe the third one, which is the best, because you have a lot more. In a building, there's a door, and you got to get in or out and stop the team from going in or out. Kind of the same thing with a bubble here. Malice Mamba knows he goes in and tries to knock someone down, or he gets knocked down. In
Uh-oh.
this case, both things
CLG.
happen, but
He's fighting with
CLG,
somebody.
Batro able to get him back up and give him
They're
a pat on the back.
assholes.
Good stuff, buddy. We got
Fighting
one
with
fight
their
to do.
what?
I'm not fighting with their assholes. Fucking Kinder Deep.
That's awesome.
Eating that motherfucker. Knuckle deep.
Fucking
At least
fisty,
one knuckle
baby.
deep. At least one knuckle deep.
See if he can get his shields back up. A shield swap in that holiday finds himself suddenly purple, looking like a grape in the best way.
Weird beards.
And again, we've seen this position be awkward for teams when there are no doors. They've got doors for the time being and some looting to do as well. They'll spread the wealth of the utility, get your heals up, and of course they've got the low bar, so they won't have to push too far.
Chizzy, chizzy,
to try and find more resources later on. But for now, they're trying to control the area around them. We spoke about the doors there.
What's poppin',
Might be
chat?
back off downstairs somewhat, but they'll have a quick look at the loot as they have forced that other team away somewhat.
Big day. Big day for
RCO
They
Esports.
keep this up,
Didn't they
42
win
points.
last game?
Where does that put them on the top of
I
the
think they did.
leaderboard for this afternoon? It puts them in first.
Bah.
Where does that put them for, ironically, they having 42 points in general over the overall leaderboards for NA regular season standings? That puts them 11 behind CLG, who currently are in 10th, currently have that final spot in the
I think they won the Super Bowl last game.
Assuredly put them in the mix for Sweden. And
What?
almost, if they keep it up, it's hard
The
for
Super
them to get
Bowl.
out of that mix.
Won the Super Bowl last game.
Okay.
RCO.
There's only a couple days
Oh, they were
left.
screaming like they
Winning
did.
field
Line
goal.
for them. NRG, a team that when you compare it to the 42 and of course the 53.
Is
at
anybody
10,
watching
they've
the
got 80
Arkansas
and 7,
Duke game?
So they are still playing
No, it's
so
only
well that
7
they can afford a couple
7:20.
of bad games. They can afford a tournament that's
So
a bit
nobody's watching
lackluster,
that yet.
and that's what we've seen today.
You're a fucking smart ass tonight. You got your fucking smart ass pants on, chat. Chat. Tip's got his fucking smart ass pants on today. I like it.
As they dance around and look at who might be in the animal
Yeah, and I
enclosure.
didn't need smart water to do
Why do
that.
people
Yeah,
find
you
it
fucking
animal
prick.
enclosure?
Fuck
You see
you.
it in the news every few months, and it's not even
You really do.
just in
You're a
Florida.
dick.
So I do wonder, like, what really is happening there. But
Don't get it.
we'll see what they.
You know, maybe they're thinking that it'll be like Harry Potter, you know, where you could suddenly find out you can talk to snakes or you can command a lion.
Harry
or something
Potter.
like that. You know, we've got all these shows where people are communicating with animals, people living with tigers here and there, like they're their best friends. I mean, I think
Female
the
version.
illusion has been presented to popular culture, maybe not in a good way, James.
Can see Sweets
You,
doing
you
some
won't you won't
research.
find me climbing.
Sweets
Who?
sending out the recon to see if Nathan is in the bush. Maybe they're saying, like, can we even see him there? Like,
Nah,
what's the
no
situation?
idea.
Figuring things out there. They're definitely discussing bits and bobs.
Oh, that's perfect.
NRG
That's
now.
on stream.
W are actually in the enclosure, and I would assume they haven't seen them just yet because they are hopping around, but they are surely waiting for
There
them
you
to
go.
open this
Now
door.
they
Walk
can hear
through
you.
this door like it's some kind of game show. Maybe there'll be smoke, but not the wrong
Oh,
kind.
you're
if
just on the
receiving
headset.
end of
Never
it.
mind.
Behind
I was like, wait. that's
Now I'm
perfect.
back.
a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
one thing.
I was just like, wow, that
You
was
know,
perfect.
as
Just do
far
it right
as
there.
NRG are behind it.
Like
W
right into
being
a
right out the
bottle.
door. They've already decided
Maybe
to
she'll
use
see it.
in their
Probably
past
not, though.
as Scissors getting shot.
Yeah.
Climb time's up. On
That'd
the
be strange
Valkyrie.
though, and I get like a
We
message
haven't
and
talked
it's
too
like,
much about
call me.
Scissors. Tony and Fury have had big moments
That'd be crazy as
across
fuck, right?
their time at LGS. Scissors, though, has been so
Sends like the black
consistent,
fucking
playing
black
such a
Cadillac
strong
to come
role
pick
with
me
the
up or something,
headshots,
and it's like
too.
her.
It's just that little
That'd
bit
be
of
crazy.
discouragement. Don't come closer, otherwise you know what's coming at you.
LMK maybe playing Edge.
Who are these idiots
Should I get a
fighting?
cutout of Marilyn Monroe and stick her in the background?
Yeah.
I'll just copy off all the other streamers that I watch. Just do dumb shit. Just troll them.
Soltech watch parties and fucking have
Bro, I totally could. I totally could
Marilyn
watch.
Fox in the background.
I could get my
If the animal jumps
Facebook
out of the
account
enclosure towards
on
you.
my fucking
So,
internet thing right here that we're watching Twitch
Under
on.
some circumstances, you
So I
can't
could
really
go on
do
there
more.
and watch
The
it and
athleticism of the
just do
Prowlers
Soltex
here is
watch
something
parties.
Every time he plays.
Every time he fucking plays, just fucking troll him, dude.
Role today. I think there's a good reason why.
Just
They
put on his
are,
pub show.
a couple
Oh,
players
that'd be
Yeah,
so
we're
fun.
go-
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
Chad,
Soltech pub
we're
show.
going for number one.
We're going for number one Pathy.
We like to play different lineups. We saw them with
The
the
road
Lola,
to Soltech
Fury
as
now
number
on
one.
my favorite picks in this series.
Trolling
If they're not afraid to
Soltech.
do their own thing,
Yeah,
teams
yeah,
that
just
like
put
to
that
march
as your
at their
title.
own beat, you know, love 'em or
Trolling
hate 'em,
Soltech
that's
as we
typically
watch
how
him
it
go
is,
for
polarizing.
number three Pathy.
We're going for number one Pathy here, chat.
For the most part, has found a way to impact it positively and make
That's funny.
make a real dent within
He's
the
so
body
fucking
Soltech's going
cringy,
for-
dude.
at any point
Like
in
you
For
time,
number
take
one
over the game.
Pathfinder as I go for number one Soltech troll.
No, number one Soltech troll. I want him to fucking hate me that much that he pays me to go away. I'm serious. Do you think I'm joking? That would be fucking awesome. Just be like, look, dude, here's fucking 50 grand. Just go the fuck away. Nope. Gonna have to have more than that.
And it's starting to rain on them as well. And when it rains,
Leave
sometimes
me
it pours. We
alone.
see Nightmare aren't the only team in this area. G2, they're getting their teammates back up, but they could find themselves in further trouble.
Lee, I'm not sure if that's Kimchi Lee on Buff Pathfinder. I think it is. Dresav and the boys helping to take down Lazarus. Nightmare
TSM
working
is
this
struggling a
tree
little bit.
like it's the last salvation, like it's the world tree. G2 desperately trying to hide behind the rocks.
They're struggling
Salvo
as
rains
bad as
in.
much as I'm
The bullets
struggling.
from behind resulted just getting
What, you
himself
trying to
back up
shit or
full.
what?
Medkits needing to be popped
No, I'm trying to stay
by the rest
awake.
of them, and that's Washi
Oh,
actually
you're
doing
not
a lot
that
of the
fucking
damage there
tired, are you, for
30-30.
real?
Yeah, Nightmare appears
We
to
slept-
have way more shields than
We slept-
G2 do, so G2 may have
We
to
slept all
excuse
fucking day.
themselves from this area and
You
try and
did.
find some resources
I
or
did.
take them by force.
I
That's
hear
always
you.
a good option. They have the purple
We didn't take a
armor
nap
for that.
today,
They've
did
got
we?
the bullets for it as well, but
No.
they have the
No,
position
no
and the
naps today. We didn't.
Perhaps
That's
it'll
right.
be taken
We've
away.
been
They find
fucking
themselves in
watching
a better
ALC,
situation as far as
CGs.
So what I would
Boxing
try to
is
do,
concerned,
right, is I
although
would just try to
the
fight
race
it
from
and go to
could
bed.
be an
Because
issue
I mean,
for
I'll
them,
probably
but
go to bed
Astros
around 10,
have been
10:30, so
thrown
it's not too
already.
far the fuck away.
Sort of designed for
But
passes
that's what I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
trying to do. Because I mean, dude, because I could go back there and go to bed too, like realistically.
Yeah.
But if I do that, then I'm gonna wake up at fucking 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah, that's not good for you, but that's good for me because
Yeah, it
that's
would
my
be.
sleep
I'd love to see
schedule.
that interaction.
Oh
Where's
yeah.
W when you need
This is
them?
my
They're on
bedtime.
the horizon this time, though,
Yeah.
so they won't be able to do
It's
any
a,
stealing.
oh, you should have been sleeping already.
I do agree.
Yeah,
it's
no
a bit of a
shit.
risky
Right. So
risk
if I
to
get
sell
home,
how
like right, so if I get off at
valuable
4, right,
as the game moves on
and I go to bed, so
TSM,
that's
we told
6
you they like to
hours.
rotate
So you
early
get
when
off
things
at
aren't going their
what?
way,
At
but
7:30
even
in the
Seven.
morning.
early,
7. So
it
you get
just
off at
shifts
7.
aside.
So then
And
6
now
hours
they're kinda
past
splitting the
7
difference.
is
Not
what?
rotating early, but
So
3
3
o'clock.
o'clock. Yeah. Yeah. So you should be going to bed about the time that I'm getting home every day, basically.
Yeah, just chill. There's a team to our east also. We can't just crouch.
Half the time I
Look,
don't
another team
sleep
is running
through
to
the
our
night
northwest.
anyway.
So you'd be
My night, your
There's a team behind
day.
the fence
so
over
you'd be
this
sleeping
kitchen,
right now,
southwest side.
basically.
Fine, we're fine.
Yeah, I'd be sleeping until like 9:15, 9:30.
Right. Yeah. Because that's about what.
Depending on
Yeah.
how
Because I wake up a
fucked I
couple
am.
hours before I go to work. So
Another team
I wake
behind
up at
you.
Depending how
6:30.
fucked I am.
Go to work at 8. So
Listen, we have to be the one
Same
pinching
thing.
other teams. We cannot just sit still.
We need to wait for this team to get pinched in the west.
Imperial House flipping out,
Right,
chat.
right here. I'm
We
grabbing
have a
this.
Phoenix.
Maybe if I put a fucking
Yeah, I
curtain
do,
over my
I'm just
window,
popping
it'd
it
be
back. I'm not
good.
risking it. I'm popping it
Telling
back.
you, buddy, go buy. I'm telling you, even take a fucking black
We have
trash
enough.
bag and fucking cover that bitch, dude, to where you're good until you can get a curtain. Take a blanket, fold that motherfucker in half or something, and I'm telling you, you'll be fine. You'll be able to come home, go in there. That's straight up what I did when I worked that third shift job at that bowling alley. From fucking, I went in at 8 and then left at like 6 in the morning or something.
I don't know.
So I used to
fucking eyes out.
I used to come home and like the sun would just be coming up when I'd be getting home. I'd take George out and then I'd go in the house, get a shower, and I'd fucking lay down. And I had a blanket, like, cause the comforter was so thick, and I just put that bitch up over my window, and it was like fucking nighttime. And I could go to bed. That was the only way I could go to bed though.
The boys are so confused that we're still awake right now.
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck? What are we doing, Dad?
We literally should be sleeping. Tucker's literally pawing at me while you sit here.
He's like, yo.
They don't have to fight.
Yo.
Yeah, they don't have to fight.
Are we not sleeping, yo?
They're on the height of the rocks.
The Horizon team is walking up to
So
third party water fight.
confused.
You think we should walk up to you? I can't see anything.
I got the fucking yawns.
The big yawning guy, chat.
One of the teams back there just knuckled it.
Literally.
Joe
Yeah,
Evans,
we're fucking
or
2 minutes.
Evan and Jordan, walk up here.
Tuck, you can
Watch
go
our
lay
back
in the
still.
bed.
I will watch her back.
I won't be mad at you.
Oh, he's a will boy.
Yeah, come over here, Jordan. Look at this.
You can go lay in your bed, Bubba.
These guys have Horizon. There's at least 2 teams here.
I don't know why
Let us
you're
know what's
still
going on, Evan.
freaking out.
One team. I think someone got knocked over
What
here.
is
Wants a
your
hug,
problem?
man. He wants a hug.
Okay.
Wants to get punched in the mouth, you said?
No, you be nice to him.
We're gonna play these rocks here later.
You be fucking nice to him.
This team's in a horrible spot. Team flying in.
Crack the Gibby. I don't know where this team is.
They're
No,
looking the rocks
lay
here.
in your bed.
We have to hold this team out, Jordan. I'm like stuck on fucking nothing.
Or just bet another bed over for him.
This team over here is kind of walking up this tree behind you guys, behind us.
In your bed.
Another what? Dead what?
On the left, Jordan.
Another bed. Sit
Evan's all
pulled
beat
it
up.
over closer. No, I just this big
You're alone,
one's in
Evan,
the
you're alone.
corner, but I pulled the smaller one over.
It's a duo here. It's a
So
duo.
you feel lay in it next to me. Because the other one's in the corner of the room.
Word, bird, a bird is the bird.
We cleared our side.
Just got into it and lay down.
I'm gonna walk in and look at this.
No, he's right next to me.
I think
Does he love
TSM
you?
are about to be upon G2.
Yeah, he's
They've
licking
taken
my
down that
hand.
set. G2 that is designed for
He
and
loves
TSM,
his
oh my god,
daddy.
navigating just the chaos. I cannot tell you
Licking my
how
hand,
stressful that was
cleaning
just to
How old is he,
watch
10 you
this
say?
year. So many different roles.
I think
and
this
a little bit
year.
of luck as well needed to survive that
He'll
one.
be
And somehow
10
they
this
have
year
it.
is what he's
Verho
saying.
under pressure. I think
Yeah,
this
I
might be the
think
G2
so.
fight we were talking
Right.
about.
Comfortable in a very anxiety-inducing position. TSM, they thrive in the madness, and Hal knows how to get some kills.
It'd probably be
G2
so much
also in
happier
trouble
if I
now,
just
and it
shut
goes
the
from
door.
bad to worse. Did I see a Narcstar? I don't know if they survived this. In the meantime, Reps has found himself some space, and
It's
TSM are
been
going to
nice not
force
having
an
to run
opening
the
for
AC all
themselves.
day.
G2 trying to survive around the launcher. They might be able to do so
Might
for the
have,
time being.
might have
They
to
will drop
if it
Fury,
keeps getting
and
fucking
W
twitchy
are
like this.
eliminated. Do they have the shields for this G2?
So
This
every
has been a
fucking
very
thing that he
expensive
hears,
for
he
many
just starts
teams now,
getting like
trying to
paranoid.
provide themselves some cover, getting a respawn beacon in there. I think they're alive. for the
Somebody
time being,
made the
but I
chat
think they're very
emojis
high on
only.
resources indeed.
They are
Oh,
unused.
yeah.
Grenade right before
There
this
you go,
happens
we
would
can
be
comment
beautiful.
emojis.
And it's
Yeah, you
gonna
can
do
only
so
comment
much
in
damage, but
emojis,
it is
and then
not
they
enough
probably
time
they
to
fix
do
it.
right.
Probably,
I think it was
yeah,
Hal who
probably
drew it.
tired of
And he
people
was just a
fucking
day late and a dollar
spamming
short,
shit
but
or
CLG
writing
Nano
shit
makes
that
sure
they
to
had
pay
to
in full.
delete.
Gentrifying almost going out. He sends himself up,
He
up, and
died.
away. Is he going to die in the zone, or is he going to be able to make it back alive? Gentrifying, I think he falls. That is G2
What do you think? You
eliminated.
think I should shut the
Oh my
door?
goodness. Well, he chose his own
Yeah,
way out,
fuck it.
James.
Verhulst managed to grab him in the air for the style points.
You see what the
TSM
air
now, they
is
found
on.
themselves
You
some
see
utility,
how
and they
cool
found
it is
themselves
in here.
more
It's
angles,
probably
and
not even
this is
fucking
so
any
awkward
colder
for so
in here
many
anyway.
teams. Behind that tree it
It's
hasn't been good.
73.
Verhulst was out
It's
there
literally
fighting two
the
or three
same
teams
fucking
alone
temperature
earlier,
as
and
my
now they
AC
find
set
themselves
to.
with more opportunity as there are less squads.
Except
And
at least
then
it's not
CLG,
running.
Buff Pathfinder,
Right, so your
NRG
AC's not
moving
running,
towards
which is
where
good.
Atlanta Premier's still
It's
here.
using like half
Yeah.
the power that it'd
Now
normally be
will
using.
They'll think that they were in a
Yeah,
much better
so
position to
feel
maybe
like
win
I'll
this
just
game
leave
because
it
there's no
open.
one behind them.
I just
NRG
feel
are
bad
somewhat
for
exposed.
him.
They need to open a supply bin just for the
As
extra
long as it's
cover.
not too
They
chilly.
need some
So-
kills though, and the shield swaps as well.
No,
The
I
zone's
feel
gonna
bad
claim
for
some
him because
victories
it's like
also.
everything he
CLG
hears
still delivering
outside,
some
he's
frags,
like
and we're down
fucking
to 5 for the
paranoid.
squads.
No, the boy.
Sweet is so close
That's why I was
to
gonna
having to go down
turn the
due
air
to the
back
zone.
on,
He
but
got
it's
a lot
just
of
like
attempted KB, but those Kills were picked up, I think,
It's the same temperature though.
TSM able to pressure them. It's
Yeah,
CLG
but
on
it'll
top of
get
the
hotter
rock
in
as the
here with
fourth
the fucking
squad.
door
Maybe
shut.
with the best height and the
Then
best
it will
position.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Nathan, he will fall. And
So
it will be
then the air's gonna
NRG
fucking start
eliminated as
running again.
Imperial Howl with the finishing blow. TSM, we asked, where
So
were
it's
they?
cheaper
Well,
for me to leave.
TSM's
the door
kicking
open.
ass, bro.
Who died? Who's in the bottom left?
It's CLG and FTX, bro.
2 teams are out.
Yep, it's just 2 teams. It's TSM and FTX.
Both taking the flanks, looking to close in on their prey. CLG,
That's
what
it.
can they do
Okay, the
to
stream, there
turn
it
the
goes.
tide back in their favor?
There it is.
TSM, Gods of War, growing with power in this
CLG
position of
and
kill after kill.
TSM.
But hey,
Yeah.
There's
TSM
Hal
10 kills,
going.
CLG 11. They are ready as well. 2 teams
Hal's fucking
needing to rise
flanking
in
him.
the short term. CLG maybe
Maybe.
rising in the long term as well.
What's gonna happen here, chat? Is it TSM or is it fucking CLG?
Take out one of the biggest
What's going on?
game. Look at the
I think
spread
TSM will pull
of
this one
TSM.
out of
They
their
are
asshole.
focused on CLG, who have a lot less cover.
I think
Trying to
Hal
keep
will
their
get
shields
lucky
up
once.
now. It's anyone's guess who's going to take this one. Just trying to harass each other, but that ring.
Let's
is
go,
very
let's
at
go.
Hal.
Red Shields
Hal
versus
is
Red
what-
Shields, man.
Hal's all the way to the fucking far side.
CLG, TSM,
He is all the way to the far side.
no need to move.
Well, I mean, he's with reps.
better-
It's Valhurst is over there by himself, really.
As it starts to
I thought they
close.
were 1 in the middle
One
and
fanned
2
out
on
like
one
a
on
tidal
either
wave,
side.
ready to crash from all sides. One
Well, CLG's moving in on Valk
ready to go as a team.
on fucking Valhurst.
Of the fight, Imperial
Yeah,
Howl.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. It's the big shit right here.
The flat line.
Here we
What
go,
they're
chat.
gonna do is they're probably gonna giddy alt him.
And he's seeing red on
Ah, TSM with the fucking win!
number 4.
Your stream isn't
Emphatically,
caught up,
we are
so.
back, they say. And they're making sure the lobby knows it.
That's fucking crazy.
Just where they landed in the first place, surrounded by teams, understanding the urgency, understanding that they need to pressure teams and force them away to create more space for themselves.
Literally just caught up.
There's very few teams who are able to
Oh, you just caught up.
choose to be in a situation like that
No,
and
your
thrive
stream
in it, but
just caught
TSM
up.
are certainly
Oh,
the ones
that's weird.
seeing so many targets, leaving Verhulst
Yeah,
alone
it's fucking
to cover the
delayed.
back, and the back is 3 different directions.
Oh, it
and at
should
least
only
3
be 10
different
seconds.
teams, and he's harassing all of them,
Yeah,
seeing
well,
opportunity. They were
10 seconds
engaging
is long
maybe
enough that
5
you're telling
different
me
teams
in
at
my
once.
ear that they
TSM
won, and
with a
then
great
fucking
performance in
waiting
the first
for it to
game.
happen.
Oh,
Two
It was
different
just
things.
fun to
my
see
bad.
TSM in those comms. I think that's why they're so electrifying to watch.
But
And
Wow, they
yeah,
got
on that
25
play-
points,
see how
bro.
they play
Wow.
these circles,
What's
because
that?
On that
everything, James,
play,
feels like it's desperation.
what
Everything feels
CLG
like it's
needed
do
to
or
do,
die. And you see
CLG
them
needed
fighting,
to
it feels
fucking
like from
alt,
behind.
rep,
Yet that
and PAL
momentum and
on
that,
the right,
that energy they
force
bring
them to
because they're
bubble,
fighting so hard
and then
puts
push
them in a
that
position to win
Valkyrie
more times
solo
than not.
on the rock.
And you wonder why we keep talking about
Right.
them.
You know what
Okay.
I
One
mean?
of the only
Because they
teams,
can
Yeah.
run
I
through
think,
the
in Apex
Gibby alt
Legends esports
without
that
taking a bunch of
regardless
damage.
of how they
So
do
if
in
the,
one
all
game,
3 of them
regardless of
could
how
have
they do in
fucking
one day,
turboed
show
the
up the
fucking
next day
Valkyrie
or the next
on the
game
rock
and make sure that
while
we know
Reps
they are on top.
and
This is a team that
Hal
has
were
done
stuck in
things
the
no
Gibby
other
alt.
squad has done in
I got
Apex
you.
esports.
That
and
makes
there's a
sense.
reason
That
for
would
it.
have been
But the
the play
trust
for
of the young
them,
Verhulst, like you said, to watch their back, the integration
because
of them
then they
into the
forced
squad,
them to bubble
really fun
and
things
stay
to watch
in the
here as we
bubble
start
while
off
they
from,
while they
Scoreboard.
turbo
Have a look at
the
these kills. If you include
Valhurst
the
on the
numbers
rock.
of the players of
You know what I
TSM
mean?
and
Then
CLG,
they not
Yeah,
they can
yeah.
bubble
That's half
Valhurst.
the
They can
lobby.
bubble Valhurst
so
too.
the rest have
So
to fight
that
for the scraps after that.
they can
Huge
fucking
game, but
knock
credit
him,
to CLG as well.
thirst
Again,
him,
a brand
shield
name who
swap,
haven't
and then
really
fucking
been
go after the
achieving
other two
what
when the
history
Gibby
of
ult's done.
CLG maybe deserves in the last year. But
Yeah, I don't think
definitely
they.
a big
I don't think they
performance
knew
from
what to
them,
do
and they
there. To
have
be
been
honest, I think they
getting
got
better
stuck.
and
Chat.
better in terms of
Yeah,
CLG got
'cause-
stuck.
That is a big game
Yeah,
for them.
because you
Respect
got to
coming second
realize
to a
when
very
you see
nuclear TSM in
2
first
on
place.
one
And
side and
again,
one
it's
like
pure scraps.
isolated that
It's
far,
teams fighting
you
for
throw
bread
that
at the bottom
Gibby
half.
alt in
There's
between
not
them
really
so they
much
can't
available
cross
for anyone.
over. You know what I
And there
mean?
were a lot of
Yeah, and
victims
help 'em.
that we're seeing here. with
Yeah,
very
it
few
holds
Kinda
them
cut
in
'em
one
off.
seeing a
spot.
lot of zeros in
Yeah,
this
it
half.
holds them back from being
And
able to
that's,
come help their
usually
teammate.
a bad
And then the
thing,
Gibby on
for
CLG
teams
just
that
throws his
we,
bubble out there so he
are
doesn't
hoping
get hit
could
with his
make a
own
run.
alt.
And you know, it
And in
tends to be that
case
some of
in
the teams
case
down there, like Scary, even though
Reps
that,
alts
their
too,
placements weren't good,
you
got
know what I
3
mean?
kills
They
to
got
their
their
name, so
bubble,
even though
but they,
they're
at the same
finishing in
time they can
14th spot,
turbo
they're
the
probably
solo.
more like 10th, 9th in terms of overall points. points.
Right, I got you.
Sometimes it's not so bad to be on that second
probably
page, 'cause
would
you
have
can
been
make
the
up
Imperial
for it.
How went fucking
Certainly
ham.
a team that needs
9
it as
kills.
they're
Yes.
trying to get into playoffs, but
They're
9
just,
kills
I mean, they're
for
just a
Hal,
better
3
team.
kills for
TSM.
Jordan, and of course.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how good that CLG team is.
Clutch plays.
Yeah, I don't either. I just know how
That
good
wasn't.
TSM
They didn't make
is.
big brain plays right there, so.
What else to say? I mean,
because you know what I mean.
What else
They
we can
were
say
3
is
on
this is
3
why
for
I
how
don't
long?
ever want to see Crypto
You know what I
on
mean?
Halo anything
minute.
like that ever again. He
That's
needs
what I
to be
mean.
out
Long
there
enough to
fragging.
realize, like,
Simple as
hey,
that.
2 to the
Just
far
straight
right
up,
and
he
1
needs to be out there
isolated.
just taking people down. No messing
So
around
you
in
gotta
drones,
make that. They
nothing
gotta
like
make that call.
Be on Wraith, be on Ash if you want. Either
Because that would have
one,
been the
doesn't
only
matter,
way
but just be
that
out
they would
there
have been able
and
to
just wreck
probably
people,
beat
because that's what you're best
TSM,
at.
would then
Absolutely
isolate
devastating.
Valhurst by
Saw it
himself
yesterday,
and
we see
just
it today as
divvy
well.
all
Huge
reps and
performance
Hal.
in a
Well, I
very
think that's what they were
situation.
trying to do
The
was work
spatial
over
awareness
towards the
you
Valk,
need
but then
to survive and thrive in a
fucking
situation like they
Val
lost.
Shit
or
on the
There's
cross.
very few
yeah,
teams.
when they was moving
That's
up
what
to
I
that
mean. That's
rock.
why.
well, it's
That's why
almost
you
like
fucking divvy
the
ult him, you know what I
manager,
mean?
you know, really making sure that
Yeah, yeah.
you have your task, but I'm not going to watch
Because
you
then that
every
holds
day.
them
I'm
back
gonna
from
make sure
being
you know
able
what
to
you need
poke.
to do, and then you're going to go ahead and do it. So I can concentrate on this element.
Just something I
of running
learned
the
from
business.
watching
And
this.
if Apex
For
Esports and
a
TSM is the
Gibby
business, I
player.
don't know what else is. They certainly
Right.
are transactional,
I got
getting
you.
the job done like one.
Something I would have never
CLG jump
thought
up
of,
8,
you know what I mean,
RCO
prior
still in the
to
lead,
watching the
but our top
LGS.
5 has shifted quite a bit.
Well, it's because you're not
TSM
playing
13
competitively
spots.
like you
They
say all the
don't
time,
get
so
up
you're
to
not
G2.
you're
you
not
don't-
thinking
you
like
don't
that.
learn.
Even though they lost to
Yeah,
TSM,
you
they're
don't
still made
learn
it, I
all
believe,
this
in the
shit
top 8, and
unless
so
you're
they will
like
get a couple
doing it
points.
or watching it.
Stay 35.
Yeah, and these guys play with each other
Next
too,
Buff
you know what I mean?
Pathfinder,
So
though,
they learn
Scary,
from each other and
NRG,
talk to each other.
X-Set as well, exactly where
So what do we got?
they want to
CLG,
be. Maybe not NRG,
G2,
but,
okay.
3 of the 4
That
teams
TSM
are
up
in the
13.
top 10. That'll help for their playoff run.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
TSM won that game. The
TSM
important story
up
right now
13
is that
places.
CLG 4
CLG
games in
up
are
8
I wonder.
standing second in today's leaderboard.
Oh, here, what's
They have
gonna happen
such a
here,
good
Chizzy
opportunity
chat?
to move deeper into that
RCO's
top
up
10
by
and make
a
it to that.
good
That is such
first
a
or
big
second
result for them.
place.
Coming second
They're
there
up
with
by
the
a
amount
good
of kills
10
they got.
points.
I think that's of course, you want to see TSM
Motherfuckers.
performing well, but I think the big story
Yeah.
is
You're right.
CLG and the
CLX.
position they're in. These
Who are-
points are
who-
so
who are they
important.
doing?
There aren't that many play days left, and they are crucial for CLG.
They aren't doing shit.
Well, Nano Fries,
Don't do
Mouse
shit,
Mamba,
chat.
Vatro, you know, congrats to you guys as well. We got to keep shouting out these teams who perform. CLG certainly doing that, even though TSM take the win in game number 4. We'll be back, though. Game 5 coming up soon. Let's see if they can continue the run. that
Game
they've been
5,
making. Both
chat.
TSM
Game
and
5.
CLG. We'll see some bounce back from
Is there a
G2.
countdown
We'll
yet or
see
no?
Scary get involved.
No,
RCO
he's
Esports, we know they're
just
trying to
talking
get in
about
the top 10. It's coming up after this.
Coming up
Bald-headed scary
after
ass.
this, chat.
Fucking
This is the last fight right
bald-headed
here.
scary
They're looking at the last fight, yeah. Oh, the Gibby moved out of their bubble and got smashed. Yeah.
I'll have to see it. I'm waiting for it to catch up on your stream. Alright, ready,
TSM is the champion.
The official energy
Monster
drink.
Energy, the official energy drink of the Apex Legends.
So did he not have ult?
I guess not.
He must not have had his ult then.
Yeah, Gibby didn't have it because you thought you would throw it and get in your bubble.
Yeah, you would throw it and isolate him. You know what I mean? To keep the other two away.
Who would
Yeah.
know what lies
He
beneath?
either didn't have it or he didn't fucking think about using it. He probably just thought about the push.
With a
The
machine
big push,
savage
chat.
as you are.
The fucking big push.
Lenovo Legion.
You would hope he'd think like that.
Savage inside.
That computer's probably fucking $7,000. I love how they.
Laptop.
Yeah. It'll tell you that though, chat. Or you gotta rent to own it for 6 years. And then by the time you pay it off, it's fucking old and trash anyway, and not worth near as much as you paid it for it. Yeah, there's the kid with the purple hair. I don't understand the purple hair, but okay. There's Imperial, Philip, Dozen, Hal.
Gentrify. INQ. Looks like a fucking twig.
Yeah, dude's tiny. I bet he weighs $130, maybe $140.
Looks like a fucking beef stick.
Match 5 on Storm Point, chat. We got one more match after this. What should we do after that? Should we play some Apex or should we play some Insurgency or some PUBG or fucking what do you think? What's everybody think? All the 7,463 people that are watching right now. Now you know I'm lying.
All the millions and millions.
Maybe someday. But that day ain't today.
Maybe one day.
What's that?
Maybe one day.
Maybe. Maybe.
Look at this guy. I Sleepy Panda.
So he switched teams, this guy. That guy switched teams. You see it? He was on one team and then another team. That Panda guy. Yeah, after the split, he had changed.
Monarchy.
Yeah.
And went to RCO.
Uh-huh. Probably because he's trash.
That's why they're in first place, right?
Shut up.
Like a fucking asshole. It's probably trash, so.
What? That's why you're here. You're the other half of the commentating, you asshole. You're supposed to say shit like that.
We'll find out if
Maybe
TSM
AM
can
was
repeat
trash, and that's why I
back-to-back
fucking
victories right
left
there. They
because
weren't
I don't
really
see AM
doing
in
too
here
hot on World's
fucking
Edge.
doing
Now they're
nothing.
coming
Who?
through on Stormy Vicky. Do you think that that's because there's a lot of caustics, or do you think that's just because TSM's now heating up a little bit?
Monarchy,
I think
something
those
Monarchy.
late rotations coming in on World's
Oh, what are you
Edge
saying? They
are
got shit
now
on and then
really
he
showing
switched
off on
teams so he could
Soulpoint
keep
their
playing? Is that what you
adaptation.
mean?
I think now they're
Yeah,
really
because I
going
don't
Alright.
see
in for
his
these quick
team,
rotates.
the
You
AM
saw that
team
they were
in
facing
here.
off
Are they in
against
challengers?
out in the
Monarchy
open.
or
I
whatever.
was sitting on the edge of my seat the
I
entire
don't
time
fucking
looking
know.
at their
Timmy's in
position. But you
challengers.
know,
He's shitting
after
on
taking that
everybody
dub,
today.
that's all
Right.
TSM needs to ride on that
Literally,
momentum.
him
So now
fucking
going
Nice
into
Wig
game
and a
number 5,
Prizzy.
I'm expecting them to
They're
put
out
down
here
the wave
fucking
again.
shitting on people in challenger.
No doubt.
Probably
I mean, you
shitting
gotta
on
get
Nick
the vibes
Merckx
going.
and
You gotta
all
be
that.
feeling positivity on the
Think
TSM
so?
side. After that one, I love the comms over towards the
The
end. They
game
were
I
so
just
excited
watched,
about
they
the grenade
fucking had
damage
like,
that was
he had
coming
like
down
11
and
kills.
collapsing on the
and
teams
they
behind
won.
the rock over there as we see the
Timmy
Bojack
alone
Bo
had fucking 11
back in
kills.
action for the 50-50 for Charlotte Phoenix. Stink's trying to land some shots in, but he's not looking like the Legolas we saw before.
I'm surprised
Yeah, no,
AC
not going to be
isn't
able to land
playing.
those shots as consistently.
Okay,
as you see
so
when you're in their
that
face
chick that I
too,
was
but you
telling
see
you about that
Stink taking a
worked
much
at
more
fucking
passive
Taylor
approach.
Music,
From afar, though, did hear a crack going down.
I happened to see a package that had her name on it on the fucking desk. So I Googled, or I looked it up on Facebook, and I found her, and I sent her a fucking friend request, and that was like Wednesday, and I didn't see her at all the rest of the week. So then, like, now I just look, and she accepted my friend request 29 minutes ago.
Who's Taylor Music?
Taylor Music's the place that I went, that I was working at, the music place in Westchester.
To get a little bit of cover so they can rotate around the corner. Not an ideal situation coming through.
Where you had
And
your
this is
job
taking a little
at.
bit longer than
Yeah.
both these teams probably would hope
Barrett
for.
Harry
The
sent me
loot
a
is
fucking
pretty
friend
bad. Let's
request.
be honest. You have Sentinel, even 8 over here. Someone's got an alternator. This is not the fight that
Dude,
you're
I
looking
swear to
for.
God. It's this name. It's
I get-
look. I'm gonna show you on stream. I'm gonna show you on
Even
stream,
8
chat.
shots
Look.
aren't connecting either
I
for
get
Greg
random
Gonzalez,
shit
who's
like
gonna
that,
come
too.
through
Barrett,
with
it's
that
Barrett
hammer.
Harry, and
With
he's
all
in
the
the
weapons
he's
so
in the
far,
army.
Havoc's definitely gonna be putting in work along with
yeah.
the car.
I don't even know this fucking
He
dude.
got robbed there. He barreled
Message
stuff
him
with the
back and
Sentinel.
just
He
be
didn't
like,
manage to
did
close it
you
out. Now
follow
Zerbo,
and
though,
share
the last one alive here
and
for
like the
watch.
stream?
He's trying to hit fire that rampage. He gets the knock. Is it going to be enough?
Maybe he was a
throw the
Marine or
knockdown shield.
something.
No,
And
he
because
cannot.
because all the
Stink
people, like we have the
with
same
Bojack
people
comes out on
in
top,
common.
and you have
We
to
got like
imagine that
fucking,
land
we
the
got like
last
8
round
mutual
that
friends.
did.
You
RCO
probably
Esports
just started
are nearby,
adding your
Exit,
friends
Alien
list.
nearby. So Charlotte Phoenix
All
versus
creepily
Washington
and shit.
50-50 didn't come out as clean, as
It's
quick as
fucking
they
weird.
may have wanted.
I
But
got
at
some
least they do
people on
come
my
out
friends
with
list
their
that I
Evo
don't even
shield starts.
fucking
So we still
remember
got those
from
2
high
blues
school
and
and
that 1 purple.
Coachville and shit.
Perfect timing to pull
Then
up
now
that
all of a
map there. We
sudden
can see what you were
send me
talking
friend
about. All the
request.
rotations from that north.
I
Yeah,
don't
like
even
they're
know who
trying
the
to
fuck
creep
they
on you.
are, but I have
Could
like
potentially
60 fucking
happen
mutual
very
friends.
soon, but now everyone's making their way
I'm like,
down
did you
towards
even
the zone
fucking
here.
go
You
to
can see it
Coachville?
pulling out towards the south side.
I don't even know who
inside.
you are.
OXG, they're popping off in the middle of the zone. You can see Hakulot has
Okay,
No
so-
idea who the
coming
fuck
through,
it
and
is.
Marcio's trying to have themselves
So it doesn't
a
say
day.
that
What do you
this
think
chick's married,
about
so
how
that's
Marcio's
cool.
played today, Vicky?
So that means she's not married.
This performance from RCO. I had the ability to cast their challenger circuit.
Well, she's not happily
and
married.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how the squad was going to do in the pro league, and they are not disappointing me whatsoever. Again, they consistently stay within the top 10, and now after taking that W,
my Xbox doesn't go idle for too long. It might actually shut off.
That you need to carry together as
Yeah,
a team.
move the
Looks like
fucking
TSM in some
move the
trouble
thing around,
themselves,
chat.
kind of out in the open here, as a lot of these teams
I'm just
have made
checking
this
on your
real
boy
estate their
Blood.
home. But
Still
we've seen
playing
a very
ranked
similar
without
circle
you.
here, pulling all the way
Oh,
south
just
from
waiting for
Ronger.
you.
We saw it just in EMEA
Says
yesterday
he's gonna
with
wait in the
GMT
lobby
taking
for
that
you.
dub, usually pulling over by the little island that has
He wants
little
you
to
to
no cover
play
minus the rocks.
ALCS with him.
I was wondering what happened for Vorholz. He just kind of
Rank
disappeared on the
style.
map, and I was like, did he get eliminated, or what was that? It was a phase breach, excuse me, from Hal to get out of there and get into a better position. But this is what we're
Told
talking
him to
about
come tell
when
you
we
in
had
chat
the interview with
that
Kick
you wanna
earlier
play
today
with him.
about cover
Oh,
for
okay.
these defensive bombardments, and that's why you're seeing a little bit more
So if he
Bangalore
doesn't come to
being
your chat,
utilized,
then
and
he
it's still
can't play with
surprising
you.
that no one's really picking that up on the Stormpoint side for NA and gotten
Did
the
you tell
memo.
him
They're
that?
still rocking that
Yeah,
Gibby
he
in the
told him
classic
go ask,
composition.
Oh,
go
okay.
ask Biggie to play
Panda
Apex
getting off the
ALGS
Caustic and
Apex
switching
with
on
you
over. They're going to be in a
in
good
his
position
stream.
towards the zone. Meanwhile, NRG, not their best
But you gotta
performance,
tell
but
him in
we'll see if they're going
stream.
to be able to pop
Oh,
off here like
somebody's about to
TSM
die
did in
by
the previous
Rico.
game. They're in the zone
Rico
as well
esports.
with
Oh,
their
they
double
ran like a
rotation
bunch of
now.
pussies. Rico,
Kind of
why'd you
been
run
the
like
theme for
pussies?
today,
You had
right?
him
It's how
dead
we
to
see a
rights.
lot of these
You literally had him
high-performing
trapped on the
teams
outside of
coming
the
in from the
wall. What
challenger
the
circuit,
fuck are
putting
they
in
doing?
waves here for today.
They just
Our
let
T1
NRG
team's over
fucking
on the other
escape.
side of that
No
page, so
problem.
now making the comeback. Ghost Gaming also in some trouble now. They're on the
Are
Trident.
they
They're
high?
forced to actually just reset a little bit before they
Maybe.
want to continue on their
They
journey. It's
literally just
W
had
though with Fury on the
NRG stuck
horizon.
on the
We
outside of
highlighted it
that wall,
before we even got
and
into
they
Storm
fucking
Point how
ran.
important this
Ran
legend has
back to the
been
building.
on this map because of the verticality that the Gravity Lift does provide here. Gives you nice view over a lot of the teams that are playing off.
What the fuck were they thinking, chat?
Distance that you may need, but they're
They're
not going to
still
fully
there
send
with
it
the
on that
fucking
team. Ghost Gaming
L-Star.
get to see another day. They're going to get back onto that Trident and try to continue
That
on
gun
with
is
those
so
southern
fucking
rotations.
trash. It's not even funny.
No doubt about it, Horizon
The
gets
All-Star is
stronger as
definitely
the
fucking
game goes
broken,
on,
chat.
similar to what Caustic does too, because
In
once
a
that
bad
zone
way.
starts to close, you can almost
Gun
use
is
it as that
garbage.
Caustic ultimate, right? Just throw down that black hole and then start chucking grenades left and right. Atlanta Premier with aggressive skyward
Rather
dive,
have
and
a
now the
nose
bubble's going to go
hand
down
beak
by
with
the
no
enemy
helmet
team.
on.
There's the black hole that we were talking about. That's going to be Phony eating it to the PK, and Ronnie's taking some damage. That's the black hole sucking him up as well. Nicely placed, but no damage follow-up coming through. Atlanta Premier is going to take that free kill.
Oh man, now they're backing off immediately. Good call here as the third party is rotating in. Nightmares are making an appearance, but Ghost Gaming have the high ground over them. They're in a better situation. They also got the
I hate
redeploy.
not having
Maybe
sound
they
on the screen.
gotta look at 6
What do you
real quick
mean?
as Impulse is just gonna be able to fly away.
Because then I
They're
gotta
taking up this
fucking
building
hear
right
the
here just
echo
to
of
make
your
up
voice
for
in
that
the
lack of
fucking
color
ear and
out
on the
in the
stream.
open. They see a lot of more teams rotating in this direction, and they know what's at stake here.
I gotta
This
hear
is
you
game
now,
number 5
and then I
now,
gotta
Tom.
hear you again in
These teams
10
know
seconds,
how
like
many
once
points
is
they need
enough.
to be within that top 5 placing.
I love you, dude. I fucking love the shit out of you, Eli. It's totally. I hear that. No, believe me, I hear that. I don't even want to hear myself some fucking times, so I fucking hear you. You fucking prick.
We saw him pop it up earlier on the edge with those
Kevin
type of
Small,
shots
thank you for the
no
like.
reason. I mean, he is
You
landing
scumbag.
shots. He is warmed up, and RCO's ready to go. Today, you heard them.
Oh
This is
shit,
their
chat.
day.
What the fuck's
They wanna
everybody
be able to
doing, man?
that within these
The
next
fuck?
games on Stormpoint.
But this
Atlanta
team,
Premier
they
now
lost their
forced to
Gibby.
play this as a duo too, so they're just gonna be waiting things out. Maybe waiting out on that
A
redeploy.
squibby.
That's what I was
I
gonna
got a
say.
fucking
Atlanta
squibby,
Premier,
huh?
While they did leave that third party,
Yeah, they fucking
and
lost
it was
their
pretty
Gibby.
well timed, they still lost out on Crook, which is one of the more valuable legends there,
Who
needing
is
that Gibby.
this?
It's time to dip out, though. You
Atlanta-
can see Asur is not interested in
Atlanta
staying.
Premier.
Instead of going over towards the lift, they're going to continue to foot this one. This is an
I reckon.
interesting path decision coming through from the AP squad.
I reckon, chat. I reckon.
Skirts of the building too, looking over towards
fucking
where
yawns
they
again.
are, and also TSM.
Oh, there's no
waiting
yawning.
Third party if anything goes sour.
Oh no.
There's no yawning here, chat.
It gets taken down. Ghost Gaming, they wanted to fully send it on that team. They knew it was a duo, but they see that there's another squad waiting for them on the other half of that hill. So Ghost Gaming, they're just gonna opt to
Where
prioritize their
is
positioning instead.
NRG,
The ring is
and where
closing
are
in
they
right
going?
behind them, less than 30
NRC
seconds here,
is
so they
right
got
here.
some-
Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, man.
Who's standing on the door in the middle?
I don't know what just
Yeah,
happened.
that one. That's NRG.
What the fuck happened, chat?
Oh my god, what the fuck did you do?
I don't know what I did.
Oh my god.
Fucked it up, chat.
Somebody's fired.
It's like, it's not even responding. Yeah, what the fuck?
You fucking broke it.
I guess because I hadn't touched it in so fucking long.
Does have a championship, but Iverson, I mean, you could argue Iverson's.
Oh, you fucked it up now.
Oh, I fucked her down.
From the outside, who would know what
Sorry,
lies
chat.
beneath?
Sorry, Travis, guy's an asshole.
Eli fucked it up.
It's right there.
Shit, with a
Fucking
machine
go.
as savage as you are.
Jesus Christ, chat.
Lenovo Legion.
Hurry up, hit watch command center. Down below, hurry up, hit it, hit watch command center. Don't wait for the ad to fucking play, hit watch command center.
Alright, I'm headshot me over there, I'm chill.
There you go.
Jesus Christ.
There it is.
guy.
Chizzy chat.
What the fuck is NRG doing? Fuck that. You fucking holding their dick on the door. Fucking smearing their dick on the door. Yeah, all over the handle. I don't want anybody to come. Yeah, I don't want anybody to open the door. Yeah. Teabag your drum set.
That's the last death nearest. No one else is really fighting.
Oh my god, there's still fucking 17 teams.
17 teams, chat. Let's fucking go.
My fucking chest hurts.
Luis Gomez. No hablo español, my brother.
No, I'm just using these armors to shoot.
Okay.
What's that mean? Play?
I don't really have an angle to get you.
No hablo español means I don't know any Spanish.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what
in case
fucking
something happens when you
road.
didn't make a play.
I don't know.
I want to be fucking.
Yeah, I don't give a
slow to
fuck.
get
Cells on the bottom. Keeping an eagle
Rock out
eye
team.
here.
Absolutely, that 100 though, and managing to actually clutch that out.
NRG is
while the
being boring,
other player was
chat, so we're
busy
gonna not fucking
focusing
do that.
on
Should I just suspend him?
Ego. I mean, scary right now.
Nah.
They come out on top, and now they're
Let him
going to be
go.
able to take Ghost Gaming's position on this high ground here.
I was
Yeah,
just
it's not in the
fucking with
circle,
that.
but they still have height over a lot of these
Now they
teams
have
that are making
access.
their low ground rotation through that bridge.
You had a feeling when the Ash, when 6 came around the corner, looked like they had the positional advantage from the Ghost Gaming side. I mean, the bubble was more well placed. They had the high ground. Everything was kind of adding up for them
Yeah,
to
it's
win
cool,
that
ain't it?
fight. They just weren't able to hit the
Yeah.
shots, and the
I can
PK
fucking
really
mute
turning the
you.
tides of that fight. You're right, Vinky. Now we see what Lazarus is doing. They've been able to pick up a couple of scrappy kills here with the charge rifle along the way, and now Dank's looking for some more blood
I can
over on
pin
top
the
of the hill.
comment.
Lazarus
Right,
has
yeah,
that
couldn't
charge rifle.
comment,
Dank is going to be
yeah.
able to put down some of that pressure. We highlighted how beautiful this weapon is on Storm Point. I mean, you have so much space to just ping down so many of these teams to boost up those Evo shields. G2, though, one of our most consistent squads in
Let's go,
NA, are
chat.
coming right behind Exet. Exet
I'm
is
good.
in the middle of
I'm
their
good for
rotation,
fucking
so they're just going to ignore
15-minute
G2 for
timeout.
right now. They could actually go into circle
doesn't ever
first
get
and
in my
actually try
chat
to circle
anymore.
keep G2 here in this
Yeah,
position.
'cause he's a trash can.
I like that idea. This is
Yeah,
one of
they
the
don't let me
spots
no
that
more.
I struggle to fight at over here. I'm not
Okay.
going to lie. Once you fall down, it's really hard to get back over here. And
I don't even ever see
G2, they're
him
going to
on
be making
Apex
their way
anymore
over
either.
towards the scan and a potential replicator if they want to continue to do the G2
Do you ever see
thing. This
him
is
on?
what they do, Vicky. You know, they sit
No.
on the edge, they chill, they get the
Yeah, I
scan
don't
for
know, I
zone
don't
number
ever
3,
see him on
and then they
anymore.
make the big
No,
grain
not even
rotation.
when I
But
am
one
on
of the things
Apex.
you'll never really see from
Yeah, he's
G2
slow.
is somebody
you'd
else
see him
coming up
on,
from
yeah.
behind them in the zone.
I've
They're
seen him
always
on
the
like
team coming
once
up
in the
behind
last
you.
month.
Yeah, that's why it's
Yeah.
so risky
And
to
he didn't
play
play
the
with us
edge of
'cause he was
circle
fucking
on
playing
Storm
ranked.
Point. It's not as rewarding
Yeah, I
as
think-
you
I think
would
I was
have
playing
on
with you.
World's Edge. And G2, they recognize that. They're
What's
going to
that?
take their time. They're going to take
We
a
used to
page
catch
out of
him
Team
in the
Liquid's
morning. He's on
books,
first
where we
shift
usually
now.
see them take their
Saturday.
time outside of the ring to craft here in these replicators.
we
So
used to catch
they're going to
him
take their
Saturday
time with these meds.
mornings
They're going to craft
when
some
I
of
would
those
get
shield
off
bats,
work
those
and he
med
would
kits that
wake
they
up
need
early
to
to
take
go
the slower
play
approach into that next circle.
Yeah.
We'd catch
I like
him
the
on
thought
weekends
process, and
playing.
there's a reason why
Yeah, now
they
he doesn't
love
even do
sitting on
that.
the edge because they love taking
No.
those fights. And if the third party comes, you never know if they have the gold bag with that Gibraltar and Resulta. He's always putting in some serious work. Exet though, big chillin' with the flatline, and that flatline is
Big
strong.
chillin'.
That thing is
Cock
decked
sucking
out with a
dog
ton of
upstairs.
ammo.
My
Should be
man's
feeling
big
good.
chillin'
If you're
chat.
Vayne, you can see the former 100 Thieves member fitting well on Exet.
Let's go.
Yeah, Exit, another team that has been putting in some work here today, and they need it. They need those points, just like CLG, coming out on top of that last game, getting second place with those 11 kills. Love to see a nice underdog story here for teams that haven't been doing their best at the start of Split 2. Energy now making their next plan for where they want to rotate. They see the bombardment happening right in front of them, maybe trying to have an opportunity to see if they want to continue playing by the edge. But the reason why they're situated inside these buildings because they know that a team could easily start rotating through the back with less than a minute left on the clock before the ring starts closing in.
It's been really refreshing when the teams that need to perform have their back against the walls. They are doing so, right? You were saying, where's Renegades going to be today? They've really popped off. They went from a relegation team potentially to a top 20 team. If they could get crazy, maybe they can make it into the playoffs. We'll find out. But RCO was a squad that needed to pop off. They are doing so. CLG needed to hold the line. They're continuing to do so. Charlotte Phoenix, however, they're coexisting on the edge of the circle with a team above them, and that's not going to be a good situation. It looks like a full team of 3 over there. Maybe baiting, maybe not. I'm not quite sure if Charlotte Phoenix has the intel on this.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte Phoenix have the horizon. They can quickly lift themselves up if they want to poke real quick, but they rather not. They don't want to take those chances, it looks like. They want to play this much more passively. Exet now taking the high ground here. Going to be on top of these rocks. Talking about Exet a little bit before, but that's Energy waiting for them inside of that bridge. But Exet, they're not really being blocked out from inching their way into that next circle, but they will be out in the open if they don't have the ability to get inside that building that's right in front of them.
The shots with the 2-4. One of your favorite scopes there, Vicky. Now it's on the R301 for Sweet, and he's going to just continue to pepper the players and be a nuisance on that side of the map. You can see Vane's like, all right, you know what? I got something for you. I'm going to toss a defensive bombardment over here as we have to rotate a little bit forward. Could be I was going to say phase breach underneath the bridge, but they realize there is going to be a player over towards the side. Multiple teams in on this one. I don't think that they were expecting 3 teams over here, but that's a really great rotation from Exet.
Energy being able to funnel into that building. Yeah, Exet is getting pinged by that team that's on the high ground of Barometer, but that was a really good move to actually reposition immediately after hearing that phase breach. Exet recognized that that was one straggler that was off to the side of Energy to try to take a nice flanking angle, but Exet was not having it. They wanted to dive on that player, but the phase breach being on that Ash that Energy is running, that composition is going to allow...
Yep, there they are.
Really good thermite. Not hitting them, but... Another one?
Rock 20 blue sub. That's a good thermite.
Yeah, it's NRG versus TSM, no?
The space now.
Yeah, I think we're gonna. You guys are gonna go here.
Oh, it's Exet versus
I'm gonna stay
NRG.
on the roof here, and then I can. If they swing behind you, I can beam them. And then you guys are gonna bubble like. It's gonna be hard to like.
So I'm gonna slide up to this wall.
Right? No. Yeah, but like the left side of the wall here, and then try to like work them, and then Valkyrie them here.
Just sitting in here.
They're trying to force them to go down. Yeah, they're gonna get. Oh no, there's a rat right here.
No, that's a Gibby if it's underneath.
No, it's a Loba. It's a solo Loba.
I tried Ash again.
He's peeking right here.
Bubble him.
Right here.
Bubble him.
Bubbling.
Had to get set. It's set.
I'm batting.
Walker, we were in no way setting that play up yet.
Oh,
We
no.
gotta back up completely. We need to rotate back the barometer. Bro, we were gonna do it all together, man.
NRG just died, one of them died.
Yeah, I was popping myself.
I literally waited.
Alright, start to back up. Back up on the gas line here.
Hey, what was the point of rushing out there?
Yeah, I know, but they have wingmans. It's fine. Alright, who is it, Nate?
I'm just confused.
Why are you confused, Elvis?
Alright, we're just looking for KP here.
Why did he just fucking rush out there to the fucking
Might actually, like,
bridge by
if we
himself?
can find a car, that'd be
I
insane.
don't know. Doesn't
Team
make
underneath
any
right here,
sense.
full
These
three.
guys sometimes blow my
Come
mind.
with me. The team in top barometer is gonna backhold, so we still.
Literally just bumming up the fucking fence by himself and died. He got thirsty.
Do you have any extra bats or anything?
No. 3 solids, no bots.
We're just
Because
gonna walk
his
in with gas
ultimate
there.
plan
Try
was
to
to
actually
like
do
throw
something
the team
important.
off so that the other 2 could run out the back and fucking escape or what?
Backhold. Literally everybody should backhold here. As soon as this team backholds, then we're
I can't
I think
imagine
we're gonna
there
run in
was
on the
a
beach
fucking
side and we
game
might
in
actually
the
get
whole
across
way.
the third party does. Alright, these guys are jumping off now.
Marked
Team
my
in front of us.
next
Come left,
location.
come left. He's got Ash TP'd on. Literally, there's gonna be a huge fight in front of us. They're all taking it. The bubble in front of me. Come left, come left, come left. I need to go left to the beach. I'm trying to save my Ash TP to get deeper. Come left to the beach, left to the beach, left to the beach. Down to this rock on me, and we're gonna stay on this rock.
Team on you.
Keeping. Gotta keep going. I might hit the cannon here.
I just...
When does Skittle play start again?
I'm coming to give you knock. You're done.
I hope so.
I think it's tomorrow, chat.
I'm getting tired of
I'm
watching
holding knock for
these
quite a
teams.
video, but
There goes
I'm holding knock
fucking
when you land.
NRG fucking Raptors getting shit on.
Oh man. What are we doing?
Raptors does.
Like,
NRG just got shit on 7th place, chat. Where's that TSM, G2?
I'm looking.
NRG's dead, chat.
One's coming up.
Get TSM up here and
Backing up.
see what becomes of
Yeah,
this.
play slow. There's another team behind him.
I have no ammo. They're gonna need a sandwich. They're gonna need a sandwich. I have no ammo. 20 bullets.
I'm dropping you. Dead. There's another team above.
Phoenix.
I have no big meds.
I died. There's a full team above.
Drop it.
Nice. Like you have to loot, Evan. Like fucking go loot if you have no ammo, bro.
What is this Valkyrie doing?
I don't know. TSM just died. We're gonna go over to
they
G2
died?
now, chat.
Yeah, I need
I found some. There's a red down here if you need it.
Right here. Yeah, we matched up right there.
Everybody's
We gotta
just
keep
alone.
focusing this team that has
They
good
just
spots.
died to G2.
Is there another
Yeah.
ultra cell somewhere? I'm popping one. I'm not gonna have it.
No, I don't.
You still
Yeah, I
have
have
one,
one.
then?
Here, take it. They're gonna
G2
get
just
pinched. They're
shit
gonna
on
get pinched.
town, man.
We're gonna pinch the team. We're gonna slide up and play the rocks.
Okay.
You gotta pinch this
Watch
thing.
someone
This
get
team's
first
this
place
dog
again, or
holding out to the left. What the fuck is she doing? I'm gonna focus her.
The rat. Alright.
This is the rat.
G2
Alright, we gotta
get
fucking
coming
kill
with a
these
big
people.
day.
It's last team.
I know.
bro.
I'm holding us up to this fucking cover. Didn't work. Good enough. Ult them. We gotta swing left. Did you ult them?
I did. Now I gotta pop Beth up.
Alright, we're gonna have to swing left.
Yeah. I threw it in between both of them.
I'm swinging left. Heal up on this if you need to. 13 on Gibby. Popping back.
Walk on my track.
Final two teams.
That's right. I told you. I'm gonna swing left.
Swing left.
Walk back. Walk 100.
Gibby's dead.
Nice. Last one. Playing on.
No, I'm dead. Nice.
Come on, man.
Oh shit, G2 chat! Winning game 5. Okay.
Across the fucking map.
So we got one more game,
doesn't
chat.
matter.
One more game.
Doesn't matter what zone. You're gonna get fucked. You can't run, baby. Let's go.
Yup.
G2 only does good when they get zone on the next door neighbor, bro.
And huge, but G2 is coming through in style. 2 wins throughout the 5 games. That is the G2 style. I mean, you gotta love the aggressive phase breach forward into the bubble, defensive bombardment, charging in there. Everything was so well executed, and you leave it in the hands of Designful for that 1v1 at the end.
That was just insane also just to see that Scary was able to phase breach out of that situation. I mean, overall, looking at the way that Scary was able to frag out in that game, that was crazy. 15 kills. Yeah, they didn't win, but 15 kills for this team?
Jesus
Are
Christ.
you kidding me? G2, they come up on top, 12 kills. G2 staying as consistent as ever. This is the only team in our
Jesus
NA
Christ,
region
man.
who has managed to take more than 1 win today.
We know sharing is caring, but I don't think these teams care to share their kill points right there, or the placement points. A lot of that just gobbled up. 27 kills right there from your top 2 teams, not leaving much points for the rest of the leaderboard. I mean, that's a
Nice.
great job from
I mean, them
TSM, even picking up
qualifying,
10.
they
You
got
can see
first.
Xset with
They
the
got
9
first
bomb
and they
overall,
qualified
but
for
it gets tough
tomorrow.
after that. You have only 4 with
For the
0
challenger
kills coming in
circuit.
for CLG,
Okay.
and the list
Good
goes
shit.
on.
Good shit. Good
I mean,
shit.
not only did Scary have 15 kills and G2 cleaned up 12, but leave some for the rest of the lobby out here. TSM, yeah, you see them down there, 4th place, doing a lot better here on Storm Point, securing that 5 KP after they were able to win game number 4, making that progress that they definitely need. But looking at this other half of the overall leaderboards for game number 5, surprised to see RCO down there.
Timmy and them beast.
No doubt about it. It was a tough game for RCO, tough game for Renegades, W, teams that we were highlighting prior to this, OXG, Ghost Gaming, Atlanta Premier. We've talked about all of these squads kind of being the middle of the pack squads. Who's going to rise to the top? Who's going to get ready and try to prove themselves that they're a team that could be a contender going into the playoffs, not only at the playoffs, but when they're there as well. unfortunately for Wash, they had their best day today, but they couldn't close it out in that final game with some points.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but still fortunate here to see our team still perform very consistently. G2 out here with the moves, so much damage coming in from Designful. You have to highlight the phase breach to close in the gap between themselves from the bridge, traversing through that open waters that would have led them in the direction of Scary.
I love the way that G2, again, played that final 3v3, Designful, just aggressive with the wingman. That's how you go and do it. G2 is so strong at the bubble fights, Vicky. And what I love about the players in the pro teams right now, they go and they scrim bubble fights only. They'll literally just get into a lobby, throw the bubbles down, and you're going to see so much more talented fights going forward. That's why G2 is just so darn good. Those controller boys, you get them up close, and it's tough to beat.
That's right, the Roller Squad. I love that. I love that good story there, too. I know Designful, too, you would think that they've been really, like, practicing off to the side here, but they've been popping off and maintaining this consistency for so long. That Designful, he took a little bit of the break. He's been watching Naruto. He's watching the tune-in exams, and he was bringing some of that energy into these games, just really popping off here. I really like to see a good story here from G2, but they've been on top for these last few rounds,
We're gonna have to use the summoning jutsu then on Kate. Let's bring her in here.
No.
Get in here, Kate.
I'm here. Thank you so much. I'll tell you what, we've been talking
One
about
more
sort of
game,
frying
chat.
our brains on all of this
How's everybody
action,
doing
and
tonight?
certainly Match 5 did not disappoint. But let's talk about Match 4, because it's one of the things I love to do when I come in and join this little breakdown here. Okay, so let's talk TSM. Definitely a headliner, certainly a top-tier team. Well, they show that they can't be forced into a wall. This is one of my favorite highlights coming up here in just a moment. They're surrounded. It's like the Alamo, but with a very, very different outcome here, Tom, including one that includes our current Match 5 winner, G2.
Yeah, G2 was doing pretty solid this game, but it was TSM, it was CLG picking up a majority of these kill points along the way, and I loved the excitement from TSM and the listen-in when it was all said and done. It was the rock with the thermites, all of the aggression coming out from Hal. He was putting in some serious damage, and you know that he loves that flat line with the 2x, Vicky. This is when TSM started to gain momentum.
Yeah, what really set me over the edge was when they had redeployed in that position, I was really scared. They were in the line of sight of like 3 different squads. They were fighting 3 different spots, but they still were able to come out on top. Now, looking at this next game, though, Scary, the team that we just witnessed boot Ghost Gaming off of the high ground, Nizul popping off with the PK, and still continuing on their domination to getting second place versus G2.
Yeah, no kidding. And I will tell you that match number 5 starting off with, you know, RCO, TSM, NRG, all within the zone, basically from the rip, was out of control, and the ability to control that area was certainly a pro move for sure. We also saw Scary using the PK, turn the tides in that fight against Ghost Gaming. Tom, let's go back to you for a second. Let's talk artillery. And Vicky, I want your opinion here too. If you can answer this question as we take a look at this final circle and what G2 just manhandled, just absolutely did right here. Oh, it's just fun to watch. Anyway, let's ask this big overarching question. Let's talk artillery for a second. Is there a thing, is there a gun, is there a weapon that was most effective in today's matches across both maps? I know it's a hard question to answer. Tom, I'm going to start with you. Feel free to say whatever you want.
I think you just saw it right there for G2 specifically. It's going to be the wingman, the wing dude. And it's because you heard TSM and they're listening and saying, okay, these guys have 2 wingmans on their team. We feel like it's G2. G2 swooped around over towards the epicenter side and took him down because of that. But you can see how strong it is. The TTK is awesome. The burst damage is a lot. And a lot of times you're running around and you don't realize how fast you can actually die from that weapon. And when you're hitting headshots, you're not missing like they're missing right there. That's a deadly combination, especially when you tie it in with a crate gun like the Volt.
Vicky, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, yeah, that's why I really love those listen-ins, because you can tell they had double wingman on
Tom
that team
Taylor
too, and you
with
can hear
the
how Vicky
like.
hey, they
What's
have
up,
double wingman.
Tommy
This is probably G2 there. So
T?
aside from the wingman, just to go for a different option,
How
we
you
were
doing,
highlighting
buddy?
the charge rifle a lot today, and I like to highlight
Tommy
the charge
T's a
rifle
good
specifically on
good old
Strike
buddy
Point.
of
You've seen
ours.
it in
He's
the
an
hands
old head.
of a player like Reps, just
Good
put in
dude,
so
man.
much damage with
Hope
that
you're
gun
doing
alone.
good, Tommy.
Not only does it help boost that Evo shield, but it allows you to be safe inside of these buildings where you predict that final circle is going to pull without having to overextend to obtain that damage.
I love it. And I also love a wing dude there, Tom. Thank you for that. Let's go to something else I love, which is leaderboards. Not math, 'cause I'm terrible at it, but my gosh. Okay, G2 effectively bringing themselves up by the bootstraps here at #1, coming up 2 places here, Tom. But you know what? RCO still within spitting distance, I would say scary as well.
We have to talk about Scary, we have to talk about RCO, but I kind of want to highlight Ganjamin because this is a guy that we're kind of making fun of his name before this split started, and now he's being taken extremely seriously. The dude is popping off. He's literally smoking the competition, which you love to see from Ganjamin.
No, how long have you been waiting to use literally smoking the competition, Tom?
I just made it up, you know. Actually, I was looking in the mirror earlier practicing that one.
Well, it shows, and it was well executed, to be sure. Vicky, yeah, as we take a look here, we see XSET as well, Buff Pathfinder. You know, we see a lot more teams here, LMK, that are in that first, this first page that, you know, perhaps we wouldn't have expected if you talked to me first before match 1. But here we are, and NRG, #9, gang, #9.
Yeah, what I really like to see, though, Kate, is that G2, very similar to the last time these teams have faced off against each other, sitting on the top there. They're sitting all the way in first place, so they continue on with that consistency.
They do indeed, of course. The pick W. Boys are sure they're gonna have a better day, but this may not be that day, and it seems like not, unfortunately. But you know, Tom, we also keep talking about the likes of Renegades and Ghost Gaming. You know, Ghost was a major impact back in at this match #5 here, and it's certainly something that cannot be taken for granted. I'm not sure if you can hear my dogs; they are also agreeing.
I love that. They're definitely agreeing with you. But Ghost Gaming is a team that has, again, a really high ceiling. They haven't been able to capitalize on their talent quite yet because they are a fairly new team. So I would love to see them just continue to put their nose to the grindstone, keep working on their adjustments. Six, again, is a great in-game leader. So I think that we're still going to see a lot more from Ghost Gaming as we have a couple more matches. We have one more match, but also a couple more days left.
You are absolutely right. Well, what will happen in match #6? Who's popping off? Who's potentially playing spoiler? Well, only time will tell, but not much
Only
time.
time
Stick
will
around.
tell,
Match
chat.
6
Let's see
coming
what the
up right after
fuck's
this.
popping.
That's right, I told you, Andrew. I'm gonna swing left, I'm gonna swing left. Swing left, swing left, swing left! Buck crack, buck 100, buck 100, buck 100. Give me that, give me that. Nice, last one. He's playing knock. No, I'm dead. Let's go, baby! Come on now! Easy claps, boys!
Fuck it. Oh, fuck.
Don't be all fucking man.
Can't wait to go lay in bed. It's fucking dark out. It's black in my room right now. Perfect time to go to bed. So I have to watch this last game.
Welcome back to the game that decides it all. Of course, I'm talking about Game 6 here.
Welcome back!
We're in North America on Storm Point, and it is rain day, and James back at it again. I'm stoked to see this. I think G2 personally have continued to elevate their game. There's been back and forths between some of these juggernauts throughout the scene, but pretty much most of the leaderboard is exactly as it was, except for two big movers. G2 from 3rd to 1st, and scary. I mean, Ganja Man, again, in the conversation for most kills on the day, just one behind RCO Sleepy Panda. This guy's been killing it.
Yeah, we've mentioned his name quite a few times from a different broadcast from day to day. They are putting in work consistently scary, and you have to wonder what their ceiling is, because they're forcing us to ask questions about that. But we also have to look at RCO Esports, because they are another team who have potential to qualify for LAN, and I think you can see that they understand that based on the output that we have seen from them. Again, Sleepy Panda, I believe, is still the top fragger on the server at the moment, and he has maybe 4 times as many kills as anybody else on his team, maybe 5 or 6. He is really forcing their way towards, well, they've been at the top of the table, but now G2, they're in rare form. G2, the way they've just been going after teams has been fantastic to watch. And again, heading towards LAN, if they can do that in Sweden, then I feel for anybody else who's going to be on that server.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to beat them, especially when they're kind of pressing the initiative. When they took out TSM last round, it was almost an ambush that they felt, because there was a lack of loot on the TSM side of things, and off-screen we were able to watch all these different perspectives, but it was G2 who just kind of had the cohesion and put their foot on the gas pedal when there was maybe more of a neutral pace happening, just sitting on the bridge for a squad that had won the game before. It's a second page, though, of results now, and Lazarus, W, Charlotte Phoenix, Nightmare, and Atlanta Premier round out the top 11 to 15. We've got Ghost Gaming, OXG, Renegade, CLX, and then Bad Boys coming in 20th. Excuse me, add a 0 to 2nd, and that's where they are. Yeah, but I love what we're really seeing at the these are the TSMs. It is in these teams that need to get into playoffs. It is in some of the CLX performances, the XSET performances, the scary performances, the RCO performances, right outside of the top 10. And those are the teams that, for me, are the most desperate for playing well, and also the ones who are showing up. I would love to see how Game 6 changes this leaderboard. I hope it doesn't shift too much, though, because it would be great to see all this effort get paid forward for these teams who definitely need the points.
Yeah, we can see Lazarus in 11th place as well. Worth mentioning, after the first game they had where they got absolutely ejected from the lobby in a very awkward position, susceptible to all kinds of grenades, they've managed to turn things around somewhat, and if they can have a good Game 6, then they could get some nice points on the board as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Charlotte Phoenix, another one not too far behind them at the moment. So there's a lot of teams who are fighting for very important points in this 6th and final game.
Yeah, I'm
so
about to go there down.
I expect that this one will be
very
interesting to see where it goes as well. Because again, there are so many stories in different parts of the overall leaderboard, trying to stay in the top 10, trying to move away from the danger zone, and the other danger zones towards the bottom of the table as well. There's a lot going on. And we're going to see some of that play out in this 6th and final game once we're into the lobby, but we're going to see some highlights from match 5 here. Very fun fight towards the end, but again, G2, you can see the confidence in the way they're playing, with or without their comms. You can just see it as they move across the server and execute team after team.
Just so clutch, and even having the confidence with the grenade to go in after that and to hit the headshots, to take the 1v1 and come out swinging. This is the G2 that I think people would bet money on at this point. You know, they'd say this is the team that I agree is going to get the job done in a 1v1, and that's how you start to build momentum in the right way. It's one more game, though, to decide it all, and we're coming up very soon into that Game 6. We've had to restart the lobby, which is why we're showing you some highlights, talking a little bit about who stands out and why. But Game 6, always a beautiful game. I like to say it again. It shows you who is showing up. And this is the type of game that, you know, there's only so many moments to practice. But it's kind of like if you went back to back to back to back on a tournament run, and every game in the quarterfinals, the 16s, the semifinals.
I'm trying to do
finals,
something
went
here,
to
Chad,
penalty
on
kicks.
fucking
You have an
Discord, and I can't
opportunity to
figure it
try
out.
something that's a little bit more difficult, takes a little bit more focus, and to still execute. Game 6s are kind of like that. These tournaments being more spread out, though, James, now all within a week, back to back to back, it's kind of a really nice exercise for these players to get used to the pressure that's going to be showing up for them in a month, where it is back to back to back and having to perform at your highest level over the course of 4 days in a row.
Even if you have been to an Apex LAN before, it was so long ago. So long ago. So it's going to be fascinating, I think, for the players who have never played on a stage before. For some, it doesn't matter, and they'll just be completely focused. For others, all those bright lights of a studio, having commentators live there, all the teams that they can see around them as well. It's going to be a very strange and very surreal experience. That can certainly affect your performance, especially in the early games where some teams may pull away. But I think one person who's benefiting from these games day after day is certainly Designful. What he's been doing, the follow-ups, he's cracking plays, he's downing players, he's causing so many frags for his team to happen across these maps, especially with the open space of Storm Point. He's been exploiting that as we saw them dominate in that late bridge area. He has really been benefiting from the run here, and he seems to just heat up and get even more dangerous game after game.
That's kind of what happens. The boil is on for G2. TSM, NRG, really, yes, in the top 10 right now, but slow game. They had come in winning 4 in a row, and the fact that they are, now kind of in a slump, it seems like in this game, what's gone wrong? I mean, there is a lot of different elements to this lobby. Obviously, you've got some top teams in here, which is almost going to be every lobby from now on until we finish qualification. But, if you're at the top of the leaderboards, if you're 87, 90 points, I mean, is it okay to have an off day, James, or is this still something they're going to go back to the drawing board on?
I think the higher you place, the better, for sure. And it's all practice, bearing in mind you've got different teams and so on. However, if they feel like their position is secure, they might be holding certain things back. But there's so many play days and so many important things to happen that might not necessarily be the case. But I will say that we saw them around the Prowler enclosure, getting their Valk to go and see, can he go up there? What's it like? Let's have a look and see if he can hide behind the bushes and so on. So they've been doing some research around the map. They are preparing for the long game. So we might not see absolute peak NRG right now.
Let's go, chat. 3 viewers, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing tonight?
Hey, it's all about when you
watching the ALGS. This is the last game right here.
And that's
to decide the
left to be desired for these teams and
the NA fucking
location where they are
comp
all
tonight.
virtual, all online right now. That won't be the case on April, the end of April and the beginning of May in Sweden. We are dropping into our final game on Storm Point. It is Game 6 of your North American ALGS. And after just a dominant performance from G2 with 59 points, they look to extend this lead and push into even higher numbers. Designful on the Ash, been a spectacular performer on the day, as well as Resulta and Gentrifying, each playing their role to perfection.
Landed on a flyer. Took that by surprise. We'll see what they get from it, if they get anything nice. Some blue looks like maybe the armor. Well, it is the final game of the day, the first of 2 weekend days. Again, we saw APAC North playing earlier, APAC South play tomorrow. So if you're up super early, then look out for those streams on different channels as well. But again, the contests continue, and we are surely going to lose a team early here. Wash have 2 of their players up. Stink is down, which means no dome. But can they dome their opponents? That is the question. Both teams refusing to give this position up game after game. They'll go again just one more time.
Yeah, he hears that it's a bit of a run. This is the same situation we saw a game prior, and it's just going to be who hits their shots, and it's Charlotte Phoenix, Greek. They had Bowser up too, so a little bit of an advantage in that regard, the 2-1. But Charlotte Phoenix will win this. Already one squad out of the lobby. As we take a look at the map of where it'll end, a northern zone yet again. I think we had this in Game 4 near Thunder Watch. Command center is where you saw Charlotte Phoenix dropping down that zip line, which felt like it took half a year to get down. Such a massive building and also just such a massive map. Really, really great introduction to the Apex Legends community. Stormpoint just spreading things out to the nth degree. And XSET already finding their little plot of land there. As G2, the team we had been talking about on Lightning Rod, James, they don't have to go too far, do they?
They are absolutely laughing at the current situation. And I do wonder, considering the vertical challenge of this area for the teams further away, if we're going to see those late rotations with the replicators and so on at Fish Farms, Barometer and elsewhere, Cenote Cave, because surely it has to be an urgent situation to find a better position up top than to come in late and be forced to kind of drag yourself up or go for a hot drop and a gamble and maybe some high variance. So we shouldn't have to wait too long to find out what these teams will do in terms of their approach. But G2 have a lot of looting area because G2 to start off with, and they are at maybe the highest point of the map looking down at all the plebs that they'll be eliminating later on as far as they're concerned.
There's a reason they call it Lightning Rod, right? Goes way up into the sky. It's got to be the first contact for the Lightning, and I'm sure if you are around, you will be hearing the sounds of the impact G2 has made in this lobby. RCO Esports trying to get up and around, and if you want to follow G2, if you want to see RCO, if you want to see anybody really in this lobby, we've got something new, this split of the ALGS. It's called Multiview. Go down near our follow button and hit Command Center, and it'll allow you to seamlessly transition between viewpoint and viewpoint of your favorite pro teams, players, to catch every shot and every final circle. You have the ALGS your way with Multiview, and it's also great if you want to learn about how to make rotations, the little things, the stuff that it gets unnoticed, James, unless we have to point it out, which we love to do, but you can't point everything out because there's just too many things happening at once in such a rich esport like Apex.
Following CLG at this point is actually quite interesting because they're essentially at the opposite end of the map than they need to be. But again, they have great potential to further secure a position for the finals with where they are in the table at the moment and what they've been doing in this lobby so far. So they are going to be in quite a predicament in terms of finding a position later on, but they may be forced to, they may feel compelled, let's say, to play some kind of edge strat just based on how far away that rotation is. So I am interested to see how this will progress as things continue, and this is not the most ideal building for Renegades, as we can see. They are doorless on one end, the can has been opened, and as we can see, the cover is very limited on the inside, so they'll have to secure the outside at the back just to give them some additional options while they bide their time for the time being. One squad lost thus far, 57 players up on the server. And again, this is not a comfortable situation for Renegades, and they may find themselves here for a while. They do have a Valkyrie, so they do have options, but they may want to, if they want to rotate elsewhere, they may want to do that sooner rather than later. However, they're currently in the green zone, so if they have that information, maybe a gamble to head elsewhere.
Certainly no need to press their luck. Renegades not having much of it today, so maybe pressing it is exactly what they need. 10 points. Team that could use some overall leaderboard points, but they're not going to get much. Still time for heroics. CLG on your screen. Nano Fries, Mamba, Vatro. They need anything but. They've been playing very, very well, putting together a great tournament today, and going to find themselves in the top 10, barring any wild and obscure results happening in the next 20 minutes on your screen. But they certainly deserve it, and they have not always played Edge like this, but they are doing it this game, and to a lot of value. I mean, just a purple magazine, especially when you're running something like a Wingman, all the difference with 2 extra shots coming in involved. I mean, if you can get a Deadeye's tempo as well, such a valuable hop up this season, and it's really outshone, you know, the kinetic feeder and even the hammer points, which for an RE45 fan, as someone who wanted to see the hammer points really mesh with that, I think might have leaned a little bit lighter on the introduction of those to that weapon again than they could have. Not the must-have choice, and definitely not competing with even the Alternator or the R99, and especially the car and Flatline, where the meta tends to shift itself, or the R301.
Can't be comfortable for OXG as they try to call this area home with two squishy players. Really trying to spread the wealth of those barrels, but how do they better their position in terms of what they have and literally their position? We'll find out later on. But for now, we're going to listen into CLG as they rotate through the map.
This is Fanta C.
As you can see, there was lots for them to discuss, but as I say that, we came out just when they got the beacon information, so they're probably talking now, but sometimes it'd be like that. I'm sure they'll be using the replicator to find his resources, and you could see at least with the way they were moving around, they're being very careful to make sure that no one is around them. And LMK were close to them, but I believe that they Valcolted out.
Well, it is sometimes like that, and when you set the stage, not every plot seems important when it gets introduced to the story, but very often it comes back to play a role. Whether that's a minor or a major one remains to be seen. NRG, in the terms of what's in a name, well, a lot of history and a lot of expectation, and yet the performance maybe not aligned with what their expectations are today. Lazarus as well, just hiding out, holding on. Second ring, closing in about 1:20. However, Bird goes down. It's not looking good for Dank. Luckily, he has the gold shield. He's going to risk not hitting that syringe and just go Bird right back up. Rather have this third member of the team alive and well. And it seems like they'll be able to hide and heal up right here.
They've really got to think about moving somewhere soon, because while they have one angle away from one team, they've got to be concerned about someone else posting up on them. But where do they go? The place seems very, very busy already, and Lazarus have a smidgen of cover. I don't know where they can go without getting shot. Either. They've got more harassment coming their way from the opposite direction. So what do you do here, Lazarus? This is a very, very awkward spot indeed. Kind of reminiscent of their first game where they got essentially blown to pieces with nowhere to go. And maybe having some nightmares of that first game now in the last one of the day, but we'll keep an eye on them and see what they get up to. In the meantime, Scary have got a big rock to hide behind, and they'll be in a more comfortable position than Lazarus were just there.
They're really, really comfortable and doing so well in this lobby. They've been putting together performance after performance. Ganjamin has been expecting us, not expecting us, but just giving us so many things to talk about with his individual performance, and has resulted in a team that is now 47 points. A team like W, we thought could be at the top of this leaderboard by the end of 6. They have not even half the points as Scary does, with Ganjamin leading the charge. So that just gives you some perspective on where they're at. 19 squad still here in our final game of the day. CLG 6 points behind. Scary putting on a nice show. We were watching them a little earlier, and we'll continue to follow along as they make their way with the zone closing in. Round 3, 50 seconds before it begins.
Yeah, and this is a really big zone close as well. And we could already see from Lazarus that there isn't a place for everybody. So CLG are probably going to have to wipe a team if they are to survive in the next zone. CLX have TSM against them, rather you than me, buddies. And they're being shot by somebody else, which is not going to help. And how can you deal with all that? How can you combo that at the same time? They're going to be taken advantage of by Verhulst and co, but TSM have to be careful as well. They're using the cover wisely, and the wingman from Reps will come through. Some shield stops available for Verhulst. He'll do okay for the time being. and that will be the end of CLX. But that ring is still continuing, and TSM will have to press forward somewhat, but then so will CLG, and they're going to have to find a home. TSM probably going to have more space in the short term than CLG will, but we'll have to wait and see.
Not going to be able to make it right behind that rock, but at least they'll buy some time and get 3 KP. That's the way you start a game. Only the second squad to have died. You take them down. That is a really, really strong start for TSM. What can they do here? Maybe a little magic in front of us. We told you those plot lines show up. May not know what they mean in the ending, but at least consider them a part of the story structure. Speaking of structure, there's a nice tunnel in front of Malice Mamba. Deciding to just get on a rock, change his vantage point. He's got 2 to 4 times on the rampage.
Size of that scope.
I know, that thing is... I'm not sure if I could carry that if that showed up in front of me in real life. Good thing it's not. It's in the hand of Mamba. Also, good thing for RCO Esports, the grenades are in the hand of Sleepy Panda. He's got multiples of them, but oh, he gets taken down just like that. Are you kidding me? Nano, no, and it won't be. He will not finish it off. Nano will go down. That will be the end of RCO. And although they
get shit on chat
this time around, it's Bad Boys doing the job, and now maybe running into G2, who want to get a little piece of the action.
Into the well, one too many times with those grenades for RCO, and they ended up at the bottom of the well,
That's
one by
tough.
one. Loba trying to do it all alone. I think his teammates are trying to heal up in the meantime, but that is the end of them. And again, just look at the amount of space G2 are controlling.
Yeah.
That was a very scary situation with the melee attempt, but you know, G2 will have one team messing them around, and they could potentially drop on that team later, but I don't think they want to take that risk just yet. Maybe they'll coexist in the short term. Exit, though, won't be doing the same. We spoke about Renegades having a bad position, and we've got an instant third party. I don't know if Exit survived this. LMK coming in to Thirst, and their thirst will be quenched very quickly indeed.
What a game from them. 41 points puts them on par with CLG. That is a really nice showing. And they've still got more to play, and they're in a good position. They're a little outside of the zone. That's okay. If they were any closer, they might have to start getting into a fight with G2, and nobody wants that. 36 on 2 members from across the way. Force what? Applying the pressure and just showing presence. LMK, nice sweep up of the mess. And they're going to have their opportunity to hang out with the spoils of war. Get themselves purples and all healed up. 4 batteries, 5 batteries now to the name of Force what? So he's going to be able to take some damage, dish it back, and get right back up to healthy. Oh my. You see that, James? TSM out.
I do indeed. Well, it is
TSM's
a
out,
difficult
chat.
day at
That's
the office
it.
for TSM. We'll see what the overall impact is with their placement, but part of it's no longer in their hands because 13 squads remain. That is quite a few, one of which is Nightmare, who see opportunity behind this tiny box, but there is an ult to get the Ash out, but there are some angles for Luxford, who's got to fall back as he almost gets his shields cracked. Don't want to go too far. Don't want to overextend. Again, it is a busy area. They have themselves some space. Got there in the end. I don't know how much will be found by that Loba ult unless some players die, but we'll soon find out. Maybe there is a lot of space being lost by a lot of teams. CLG now starting to get involved, looking to find something. They've got to find some space with which to survive at the very least. Got to make their way forward and get their batteries up if they can, but it's an Arc Star which is going to cause some problems. Gets around the corner just in time, dodges that one, but can they dodge this team? There's nowhere to hide, and they really need that bubble.
They have to just fight for this, or they got to run. They lost Vatro. They've got no bubble. I don't know what was happening there. They were in a building that entire time. I'm not sure if they can look back at it and say, did we need it? But that's almost a mistake, it feels like. Ghost Gaming, the Atlanta-based squad, coming in and taking CLG down, so they will end with about 43. Remember, we were watching
What the hell?
a couple of teams on the rotation tying up with CLG. They'll have a chance to go through. Nightmare still holding on to the dream of first place. It's still possible. 11 squads left, and Lazarus have them in their sights. The R301, great weapon overall, James, but in these bursty situations, it's tough.
Ooh! Oh, yes, that is beautiful. We spoke about this the other day. What if somebody gets boat? What is going on with this replay turned into a box? I have never seen a box that high in the air. What is happening? Levitation? Where's David Copperfield?
I think he's where the magicians are, not here. Oh, boy. What a play. What a moment. Bocek getting the type of bows it deserves. Call Legolas. He needs to review that. Put some commentary on top. Seal of approval. Certainly going the way of Sweet.
Fucking
and
hammered
NRG
here.
on that one. Lazarus 28
11
points
squids left,
and a heck of
chat.
a lot of fighting. They've lost one, but they've got Dank on gold. They've got Bird on purple sitting back behind on the Loba as well. And they've got the Black Market Boutique, one of the most important things. Great spot here to hold. This zone can actually last quite a while for them. They'll have 14 seconds before it starts to move, but at least they've got cover. The Gibraltar, he's 15% less damage when it's done to him, so that's why he stayed alive, just with that inch of health. The PK on 63, and it's 90 on one, 9 on the other, another 9, but the Valkyrie's the one alive, and that's the one who's doing the damage. Nightmare trying to get involved as well from the outskirts of it, but they don't have a full squad. It's just Luxford, and can a Burglar's best friend get Loba out of dodge? Seems like just for now, but could this spell the end? It will be. Of Nightmare.
Adios, amigo. No pit for Lazarus either. They were eliminated. And by the way, that was Hal getting bow checked by NRG. Those are bragging rights if ever I've seen them. I need to see that replay again later. That was spectacular.
Nasty.
Argos Gaming going to land on G2, or will they head elsewhere? It is a brave team that lands on G2, but they may feel like they have no choice. They are spinning to win at present, but the winning part might be a little difficult. Getting shot out of the sky. They've lost their Gibraltar now. We'll see where he lands. He might be dead to the zone. Well, I don't know. He is dead one way or another, though. Scary just being voyeurs at the moment, living vicariously, watching this action from a reasonable distance. They've got some good cover for the time being, but they're not in the next zone, and there are 8 squads alive, so they're going to have to force their way into safety.
But Scary playing really well on edge. 50 points. They might be past TSM. They might have a chance to get into second place here in this entire lobby. What a day that would be for a team outside of playoffs. These points might just put them in, at least for now. Still a couple of days to go in North America, but every single moment matters when it comes to making that $1 million tournament in just a few days, maybe a month at most. Charlotte Phoenix, they realize the pressure, but they are under just as much. Who finds a kill on a Greek? It's Bowser and Stink. And they're going to stink that one up. It's unfortunate. Bowser hitting a shield battery, but you would have to say the odds are against him here.
Where does he look? High, low, ceiling with the Horizon Q. He's going to start to fall back now. He does have some light ammo as well, so his ammo isn't as low as it looks. Oh boy, that was a gamble. About 1 HP running into the zone, but he's gone the wrong way. He can't, he had to stop. He knew he couldn't go back into the zone. Talk about having nowhere to go. That was absolutely brutal, and sometimes Apex can be like that. 7 squads left as Ghost tries to find some space. They've got their Jibby into the game. I don't know how much he's got on him, though, as I think he may have been respawned. Scary now have got the spoils. They are the victor in the short term with all these boxes around them, but they've got 6 more squads to eliminate.
NRG, Ghost Gaming, Bad Boys, Buff Pathfinder, LMK, Scary, and G2. Those are your squads still alive in this final circle. And there is soon going to be no room to breathe. A Skyward Dive, redeploy for one team. Seinfeld's on it, but because they're holding this high ground, they don't have access to really pushing teams without giving up their biggest advantage, which is up here. And so Designful just holding down. He's put on a masterclass with the Wingman. Doesn't have the Volt in the secondary slot this time. He's got the car, but that should be enough to get the job done. NRG Sweet faced on the west side as well. They'll have to go through Farmer Lucas, Euban, and the likes. It's really scary on the southern side, and your map is going to have the chance to really not be pressured out here. Maybe pulling off some heroics, James.
Where is the box gone? Design is asking, looking for a quick shield spot perhaps. G2 basically playing tower defense, but they finally started moving, and it's time to get their KP up, and you can see that NRG are looking for that first place. Not 5th, not 4th, not 3rd, not 2nd. Both these teams want #1 in this lobby. The last game of the day, and Scary still have some room at the end. I think the invitation, though, may be a little false for any team who heads in there. We'll have to see how it plays out. G2 still have height, which is so important in Apex Legends because they can disengage whenever they want. They've got multiple levels, figuratively and literally, with which to play on as well.
And that's a good tether from Designful. It's going to hit. So many interactions with that ability from Ash. 8 seconds now. It is the calm before the storm, and what a place for that to be here on Lightning Rod in Storm Point. To make that metaphor. Ghost Gaming. Not trying to hide in the rafters. No, doing tons of damage there is Rack. 24 points to their name. And Migo and Niazol, they fall as well. It's Scary eliminated. What a performance from them, though. Probably 53 on the day. Is it enough for second place? We'll have to find out after this. But Ghost Gaming climbing for more. Every point matters. Playoffs in a month. They're taking it slow though, James. Still designful, and the rest of G2 up on top. NRG, they've kind of snuck by. No one really paying attention to them until now. Oh, the fight kicks off, and they're gonna have to bubble their way out of this. All of NRG have no shields left, so someone's gonna have to go huge. Is it Nathan? It may not be. Is it Sweet? We saw what he did with the boat jack. He does actually finish off the kill, and it's G2 Resulta though up on top, who just clean up the final kill. It's almost too simple for them, as G2 on 72 points on the day now, surely in the prime position to push down and win.
Everybody trying to keep their heads above water, but G2 keeps stepping on them and pushing them back down. Still forcing the other teams to engage each other. When G2 drop, it is to take first place, not to possibly come second. Holding angles in the meantime. Don't look at us, guys. You got to go and fight each other. You got to find who's going to be the last champion to come our way and then die, is what G2 is saying. But now it could be a heal-off unless they drop before that zone closes off to them, and that might force their hand. Now, somehow we still have 3 squads remaining. G2 may be wondering how they are being forced at the moment. Where is that third team? What is happening downstairs?
Great play as well, Resulta. Even all that has gone on, all the shield being lost, still saves the bubble for the defensive bombardment. This is the team that's firing on all cylinders. And he has a one-time scope. He's not going to need to do this more than once either. He'd love to, though, because, of course, 2 squads left. That means there's one more in the way of G2 from not just taking a win here in Game 6, but taking the entirety of the win in this lobby. It is Bursty with a phase breach. Maybe to get the job done? No chance. G2 are your champions here today.
Champions, chat. G2 finally won. Good shit, man.
Limited their risk, had the best position, had height, had the zone. Just stopped people from climbing the tower. They played tower defense until it was time to get some KP as well, and did that. Took one of their biggest threats out in NRG, who took out TSM earlier in spectacular fashion with the bow check. Have to note that that was really, really awesome. But props to G2. The zone was in their favor, the elevation was in their favor, and the skill to some degree was in their favor as well.
You know, when anybody complains about the housing market right now going on in the United States and a little bit around the world, this is the power of having good real estate. You can see why so many people are after it. G2 landed in Lightning Rod, stayed at the top of Lightning Rod, fought mid-game in Lightning Rod, headed to the end game on top of Lightning Rod, and then just won. Pretty simple plan of action, and they executed pretty well.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that zone for CLG, I knew they were going to have a really difficult time as well. Worth noting them because they were so far away. It was always going to be hard for them to find position. And of course, they were in a really critical point as far as their points are concerned and the potential. We'll see what that looks like a little later on. But that was a difficult spot for them. So indeed, it was definitely in G2's favor to be in that position and have the zone landing there. You could not ask for more on a map like Stormpoint, and you can see what that meant for CLG, trying to find something, trying to find somewhere, and only coming away with 1 point.
Well, these northern circles in Stormpoint have a totally different feel to them, and G2 has dominated almost everyone that I remember seeing in the last day. TSM does really well in these central and southern circles, but there are teams that kind of have